60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Charlie did not die from an overdose. Charlie was poisoned.
No other family should go through this. It's just horrific.
Go to safe.pharmacy. Use the free tool. Learn if the online pharmacy you're using is safe.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score!
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
It's unreal. It's everything I could ask for. And to play on a line with Blakey and Stank and to be a line for 50, 60 games, it's a lot of fun to come to work right now. We're winning. It feels like everyone's contributing. And, I've said this before, but we work hard, but, we do it with a smile on our face. And that's, it's a fun work environment. It's not like this everywhere. There is some places where it's like this, but this is pretty cool.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria's still here.
I know.
2 days in a row.
Look at that.
That was Taylor Hall, by the way, who, look, he's in his mid-30s. He's on the back nine of his career. Substantially into the back nine of his career. He was the first overall pick in 2011. That's a long time ago. And he might be having more fun playing the game than he's ever had. And this is, I don't think it's probable. I think it is the best chance he's had to win. And so he is rightly having a great time. But what he said there is probably the best thing that the head coach can hear.
Yeah.
Right? Because they acknowledge all the things that Carolina is about, and it's really about hard work. But Taylor Hall is talking about this is like just a unique environment in which to go to work every day. Everybody has a good time. It is a good group. It's been fun to cover.
I love that he loves it here because we love him here.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
My gosh. It's just
He's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, he's been great. But from my perspective, and because after games, by the way, I'm Adam Gold. That's Victoria. We're on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan. Either way, you can watch the show. You can contribute in the chat. We do one-timers, so you can ask whatever question you want. But I don't get as much opportunity to be in the locker room as I used to. We have these post-game responsibilities, so I don't go to the locker room after games anymore. And the only time I ever talk to Taylor is when I'm there for a morning skate or an occasional practice preseason. But he is super thoughtful, a very, very introspective person to talk with. I love talking to Nick Ehlers for the same reasons. And you could tell he is he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
So good for him, good for us.
Yeah.
Get a chance to watch him do his thing. And he is like he's bathing in the fountain of youth right now. I think he's better now than he's been any time in the last 7 or 8, 9 years.
For sure.
So
he just needed to be on the right team, and he found it.
And he's with the right players too. They are. Blake and Stankoven benefit from Hall, but he benefits from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, he's with that line is just awesome. It's funny. You missed this rant, Victoria, while you were watching.
All the bands.
All the bands, yeah. I was going to try to make up a band name, but I couldn't. So at the end of the series against Philadelphia, it had been apparent that whether like some of the national media was either bored with Carolina or dismissive of the fact that they had swept 2 series, and they went as far as to diminish who they played after spending weeks talking up how great Ottawa was.
Yep.
And how, that's not going to be easy. And now most people picked Carolina to win that series. Mm-hmm. Not all, obviously, and that shouldn't be the case. Because Ottawa, as it turned out, analytically speaking, looked like a top 5 team in the entire league.
They did. Yeah.
They just did. They looked like a team that, this is exactly the team that is going to give Carolina a hard time. And that was not an easy series, but it was a sweep. So they went right from Ottawa's the team that's going to give Carolina a hard time, sweep. Well, they just played Ottawa.
Yeah.
And then Philadelphia, look, I think we can, and I said it before the series started, Ottawa's better than Philly. I didn't expect Carolina would have too much trouble beating the Flyers. I didn't expect a sweep because Philly plays kind of a difficult style to get a lot against, and Dan Vladar had been playing great. So I figured it would be a closer series, but I thought Carolina would win. Well, they swept that series too, and it looked very similar to the one against Ottawa. So it became, who they played.
Right.
And to the point where they completely ignored the fact that, you know what, when you finish first, you sort of get the benefit of finishing first, even though it was kind of reversed. Probably in the grand scheme of things, Philadelphia would have been a better first-round opponent. Ottawa would have been a better second-round opponent if that worked out. But regardless. So they went from that to not even talking about, I love 32 Thoughts, the podcast. I'm not going to go on a rant about it. It's the best hockey podcast other than the Canes Corner podcast, which is available wherever you get your podcasts. We do it live on YouTube after every Hurricanes game. But Elliot Friedman and Kyle Bukowski do an amazing job. And they cover the entire league. And they were clearly bored and really didn't talk. They talked way more about Philadelphia than they did about Carolina in the aftermath of that series, which, I don't know, whatever. So I talked about it. And by the way, now we're going the other way. Rod Brindamore has been everywhere. Trip Tracy did a podcast with Jeff Merrick. I think he does it for Daily Face-Off. I think he does it mostly for Jeff Merrick, and it's very good. And I watched and listened because I was doing other things. It was a good, solid hour of Trip telling stories and talking about this team. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
I need to.
It is so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. And Merrick is going deep and then on this particular team. And then that SDPN in Canada.
Okay.
Steve Dangle's.
Yes.
It's a great show. And I don't know how long they went, but I think I saw about a 15-minute clip where they were just talking about the Hurricanes, and they were, gushing. So, it's going the other way now. I want to just say, will you guys stop?
Yeah.
The Hurricanes have only won 2 rounds.
Right.
And I think the general consensus is they were presented those 2 rounds on a platter.
Exactly.
So they've only
Took naps
won
in between.
Exactly. Only won 2 rounds. We're still waiting for the next opponent. We don't know who that's going to be. But it is funny how they've gone the other way. Before we start, we are going to start a little bit with the Canes before we get into football and some other things. And the PGA Championship starts tomorrow, so there's going to be a little golf on the show today. I'm excited for that. Jason Sobel is going to join us from Aronimink, where apparently they removed all the trees. Which, whatever, that's what they do.
Or my neighborhood.
Where yeah, exactly. What's what they do in golf now. The Coca-Cola 600 is coming up. According to what I read, LaMelo Ball is going to be driving the pace car.
What? The worst person to be driving anywhere.
It's kind of what I thought.
Why are we doing?
It's kind of what I thought. I'm like, look, LaMelo had a great year, way better player, way better winner, leader on the court than I gave him credit before the season. So all respect to that. Yeah, but no.
I mean, what are we doing?
Maybe not.
Are there bumper cars?
Maybe we don't do that.
Can we not?
Well, good thing as the pace car, there's no other car to hit.
Yeah, right. Well,
I just thought,
he'll find one.
Can we not?
The wall.
Can we not do that?
Don't run into the wall or people, please.
Gosh. Anyway, I didn't get it.
Wow.
I didn't. Yeah, I thought
maybe
that
they
was,
did that on purpose.
I thought that was a bad idea.
Let's find the most ridiculous person to drive the pace car.
gosh. And then I went back and I watched the video of the traffic accident in February, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
What were you watching on your phone when you turned left?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that got me. I'm like, what were you watching on your phone when you turned left?
And I'm sure you're not wrong.
My gosh.
That'd be funny if they put bubble wrap around it. Please put bubble wrap around the car.
That would be.
That would be fantastic.
All right, let's go.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
I am getting way too many questions about when.
Oh, well, yeah.
All right, we don't know.
No.
We have no idea when the Carolina Hurricanes will play again. We have no clue. They practiced for the second straight day. They will not practice tomorrow. They will get back on the ice on Friday. My guess is they'll practice Friday and probably Saturday. And then by Sunday, guessing, I bet we'll know when the next series will begin. By Sunday. Mm-hmm. Maybe even by Saturday.
Buffalo extending the Montreal series doesn't help.
Well, we know there's going to be a game Saturday now. That's the thing. Because before we can know when the series will start, we sort of have to know who we're going to play.
Yep.
And we don't yet know that. Buffalo, Montreal went Buffalo's way last night, 3-2. Odd goal that tied it up.
Craziest goal.
I mean, it's hard to really blame Jakub Dobiš for allowing that. I mean, sort of got to be on your post.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to allow.
That's just, we've had some crazy
it's freakish.
goals.
Yeah, yes.
This whole playoff
remember, Philadelphia
so
allowed a goal to Pittsburgh on a shot that went behind the net, bounced off Dan Vladar.
Into the net.
Both legs and in.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's probably the smartest thing to just go, well, that was a freak. But it's one of those things that's, it's a freak, but it's kind of avoidable. But as well as Jakub Dobiš has played, I don't think we can, in clear conscience, bang him for it. Anyway, but we know there's going to be a game on Saturday. So my guess is earliest Monday start. Of course, if the same team doesn't win the next two games, then Game 7 of that series, which I always thought was going 7 anyway, Game 7's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're probably talking about a Wednesday, maybe even a Thursday start.
Yeah.
But let's just say Wednesday. And I said this at the very beginning. If this series goes the full 7, we're probably looking at a Wednesday start. Wednesday is the 20th. That would be an 11-day break. Now, it could end up being Thursday or the weekend. Honestly, television will tell us when the series is going to begin. Just like television told us in the wee hours of the morning that, oh, by the way, on
1:20.
Right. 1:20 a.m. Friday morning. By the way, you guys play it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I woke up Friday morning and what, the game's at 8 tomorrow? Really? All right, fine. Anyway, so I don't know. So my guess is we'll start the series Wednesday.
The NHL will want to start it as early as they can, but you can only do so much until they start the series.
It's TV. The NHL would probably start it earlier, but television will tell them when. Here's the other thing. The NHL doesn't want to start the Eastern Conference Finals until they know when the Western Conference Finals may start. And by the way, right now it kind of looks like we're gonna know about the Western Conference Finals well before the Eastern, and I think the Western Finals will actually start before the East. Vegas leads their series 3-2. Game 6 in Anaheim, which, I mean, the series could end. Vegas could win that game, obviously. That is tomorrow. Game 7 is Saturday. Colorado probably bundles Minnesota out tonight. By the way, for those people, good cricket term right there. Probably ends that series tonight. But if they don't, Game 6 is Friday back in Minnesota, and Game 7 would be Sunday in Denver. My guess is, though, that series ends tonight, and we're just waiting for Vegas and Anaheim to finish their series, which can't go beyond Saturday. So we'll know the West. And again, I think the West will start in front of the East. So I don't know what TV wants, but again, I think Carolina, Wednesday at the earliest, maybe as late as Thursday. Playoff hockey gives us tons of interesting things.
Yes, it does. I love it.
So, did you watch Montreal-Buffalo last night?
All of it.
All right. Fun game. Buffalo seemed a little tight to me.
Yeah.
I get it. Buffalo looks at their season, go, we don't want to waste this. I do think Montreal's... I picked Buffalo to win the series before. I think Montreal right now is playing like the better team. But Buffalo managed a win last night, played very, very well. They outplayed Montreal by, I think, a fair amount yesterday. Goalie interference wiped away what was a 2-0 Sabres lead. You see the play?
I did.
What did you think of that goal?
I mean, it's all relative, but I thought it was going to be good. So
I thought it should have been a good goal.
Yeah.
And here's why. First of all, why are we taking goals away?
I know.
In a sport that loves goals, if it's 50-50, and at best, that's all it is, 50-50 play, why are we taking goals away? I have no dog in the fight at all. Don't care. Frankly, I mean, it's not about who I would rather Carolina play. I think I can make an argument that Buffalo is more dangerous than Montreal, and Montreal is more dangerous than Buffalo. It doesn't matter who Carolina plays. It really doesn't. To me, it's a good goal for this. And here's why. Eva, I think the player's name was, is it Helnius? Number 94, who was skating in with the puck. Even after his initial shot, right? Even if he is impeding Dobish's stick, and for the record, I don't think he is, but even if he is, that stick could not have less to do with the rest of the play.
Right.
He could have thrown the stick in the stands. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Dobish is in position to make the save. The puck was in his glove. It's just that the glove was in the net.
Right.
So it's a goal.
It crosses the plane.
Right. You could see the puck actually through the mesh of his glove.
Right.
So Dobish is in position to make the save. The stick is irrelevant. He just doesn't make the save. And again, why we're taking goals away on 50-50 plays, baffling to me. Tomorrow, exact same thing. Exact same thing. We could get a different decision. By the way, you know I've ranted about replay.
Oh, yeah.
I rant about it, and every freaking sport. I went on a rant about a Premier League goal that was pulled back for a foul on the goalkeeper when they allowed 14 other fouls to go on. Oh, it was dumb. I'm not going to get into that play anymore. It's immaterial. All right, so my opinion, that was a good goal. I'm glad Buffalo won the game, so we're not crying about Buffalo. Is not crying about his foot was in the crease. His foot was in the crease. 1998 all over again. Vegas Anaheim. See the Braden McNabb hit?
Yes, I did.
On Ryan Poehling.
I did.
Okay. He lines Ryan Poehling up. Lined him up.
Big time.
Right along the boards, delivers a hit that, by the way, just the hit itself, 100% within the rules of hitting.
It was. Shoulder
to shoulder, feet don't leave the ice. There's nothing bad about the hit, but...
McNabb's a big dude.
Oh, he is a big dude. That was a super late hit.
Yeah.
That puck is long gone.
Yeah.
Long gone.
Did you hear PK try to say, well, there's a different length of time?
I didn't hear PK Subban.
That's probably a good thing.
Yes.
I would recommend that.
Yes. Not my favorite.
Yeah.
Braden McNabb was given a 5-minute major penalty and a game misconduct, and he deserved both.
Yep.
I think, because there is a hearing today, I think he's going to get another game. And here's why. The hit was so late. Like, that puck was well gone. And somebody said, well, Tyler Clevin should have gotten at least a fine for his hit. He didn't get a penalty on Alexander Nikishin. And actually, I thought that hit was late, but it was just slightly late.
Right.
The hit, I've said at the time, the hit was clean.
Mm-hmm.
That was, again, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was just bad.
After the fact, we found out that Clevin, was delivering a hit because one of their players was hit the game before. Mm-hmm. Whatever. But the way I looked at it, that individual play, I would have given him 2 minutes for interference. But it wouldn't have gone beyond that because I thought the hit was late. But it wasn't egregiously late. Last night, that puck is
gone.
2 seconds gone.
Yeah.
Honestly, Braden McNabb was so late, he could have gone and tried to make a play on that puck rather than hit Ryan Poehling. So I think he's going to get another game. And I do think whether it's good or bad, I think the fact that Poehling was injured on the play makes it even worse.
Yeah, because he didn't come back in the entire game at all.
He could barely stand leaving the ice.
Yeah, it was another Nikishin thing, which is scary. It's scary to see players like that.
And again, apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently Ryan Poehling has a history of concussions. But here's when you get concussed, when it's not a hit to the head, although I do think that his head might have hit the glass.
Yes.
But if it's a shoulder-to-shoulder hit, then there's a whiplash, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was bad. All right, let me get one more thing in here. Jim Phillips, ACC commissioner, ACC meetings in Amelia Island. He says the consensus among the coaches and the athletic directors is a 24-team playoff. We talked about this with David Teal of Newport News. He's been at the ACC meetings. We talked about why. It's about access. It's about, and I don't understand why the ACC would be interested in it, because all it's going to do is widen the perception gap when the ACC gets 2 or 3 teams in and the SEC and the Big Ten get 8 or 9 teams in a 24-team field. And that's just, I'd much rather be in a tournament where the SEC and the Big Ten get 4 or 5 and the ACC gets 2 or maybe 3. Like, it's bad, but it's not dumb. Yeah, 2 or 3, and we're talking about 8 or 9? Yeah, that's dumb. That's just what the perception gap is going to be bananas. But he makes a couple of interesting points that I don't want to dismiss. And he actually brings up what happened this past year. Title-worthy teams should not be left out because of whatever formula we have. And this year, there were a lot of people that thought Notre Dame could win the title. And they got left out. And they got left out because of the way the rules work. We have conference champions, and the ACC's conference champion didn't go, but because the ACC's didn't go, Duke, who had 5 losses, and I'm okay with that, they had to take 2 group of 6, which meant that 2 teams that weren't ever for a second advancing were allowed to play in the tournament at the expense of Notre Dame. So I get it. And Notre Dame deserved. By the way, when Jim Phillips brings it up, it makes me think that he and Pete Bavacqua, is it Pete Bavacqua? Yeah. The commissioner of the athletic director at Notre Dame, have clearly healed whatever their differences were when Pete Bavacqua couldn't stop crying about how the ACC was mean to Notre Dame. Like, Jim Phillips is just fighting for Miami to get in. Because Miami could have got left out too.
Big time.
For this, the same price. Could have been Miami that got left out as opposed to Notre Dame. Anyway, he also said, Jim Phillips, that the ACC with a 2014 field obviously going to get more teams in, and it helps to justify more access for ACC schools, helps to justify the amount of donor booster support that has to be there in order to put forth a roster that is capable of finishing in the top 24 in the college football playoff rankings. So, yeah, that's another good thing. It's sort of like, it kind of works opposite this, but I have never understood why the ACC is telling 3 teams they can't make the ACC tournament. We have a lot of interesting things about this. I don't understand why the cap is 15. That's dumb. If you're going to cap it at 12. Or 16 would make more sense. 15 is kind of random. Or let everybody in. I mean, it's already unmanageable. To what degree is unmanageable? So, because all of these schools sell ACC tournament access to their clients, their partners, the advertisers who help make a lot of things possible. So why would we be saying, I appreciate your support, but we sucked, so we're not going to the ACC tournament. We have to rectify that. But I have a reason why I think that I hate 24, but here's a reason why I think 24 is fair, or not fair, but I'm okay with it, because with 24, the conference championship games go away, which means that fans don't have one more trip they have to make, right? So if you want to go to a college football playoff game, you're tempted, let's go, it's Charlotte for ACC championship, or maybe you don't do that, and maybe you don't sell a lot of tickets. Like, we're going to get more home playoff games, one less trip you have to take, especially if you're one of those people who donates to the school. So I'm a fan of not demanding your fans to do even more. And real quick, ESPN not in favor of expanding the field beyond 12. They certainly don't like it beyond 16, and I will tell you why. Because they know that when it goes to 24, they ain't going to be the only network.
Very true.
ESPN likes all the games for themselves.
Absolutely.
And by the way, this will be way more lucrative when more networks get involved. So everybody should understand that. But ESPN doesn't want all the networks involved. And I understand why. But there you go. All right, when we come back, Jason Sobel, who is up at the PGA Championship, he will join us, SiriusXM, BetMGM. We will talk PGA Championship next.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Golf's second major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen for coverage all week long of the PGA Championship from Aronimink Golf Club in Pennsylvania. Find out if Scotty can go the distance again or if a new champion emerges. We'll have leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Wanamaker Trophy. The PGA Championship on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by McConnell Golf, where members experience 17 club properties across 4 states with 1 membership.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It all starts tomorrow. It is the second major of the golf season, and right now, all FanDuel customers, not just new customers, all customers, you can get 2 30% profit boosts to use before the golf tournament begins. And, of course, it begins tomorrow. Top finishes, top 5, top 10, top 20, Justin Rose, plus 800 for a top 5 finish. He won his major just down the road at Marion. He could do it again. 800? Add the boost? That's right. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. Enjoy the tournament. Play your game with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Jungle Cashword Scratch-Offs and Digital Instance games are here.
2 ways to play.
Yeah. Play Scratch-Offs like you do.
Scratch it.
Play Digital Instance on your phone.
2 ways to win.
Right. 2 ways to find letters and complete words. 2 ways to win up to $150,000.
That's a lot of crackers.
Jungle Cashword from the North Carolina Education Lottery. 2 ways to play, 2 ways to win instantly. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.79 to 3.90. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I lived alone in this apartment, and I'd had trouble with my landlord. Basically, he was a creep. He kept coming on to me, and I kept saying no. Then one night, I'm sitting on my couch watching TV. My door, of course, is locked. But then I hear it's my landlord letting himself in. Hey, get out. You can't keep coming in.
What's wrong? I hear your refrigerator needs fixing, and I figure while I'm here, maybe you can do something for me.
Out. Get out.
I'm offering you a good deal.
Out. And I'm reporting you.
All right. I'm leaving. Don't make a federal case of it.
A federal case? Yes, sexual harassment in housing is against federal law. It's called the Fair Housing Act. If you are harassed, file a complaint with HUD. Go to hud.gov/fairhousing. That's hud.gov/fairhousing. And if you fear for your safety, call 911. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A message from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
In the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on oil?
We've got many markdowns on oil.
How about on that new STP Any Mileage?
You'll save $5 when you buy 5 quarts of STP Any Mileage with an oil filter and get up to 5,000 miles of protection.
Heck of a markdown for quite a lot of miles.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is Adam Gold.
He doesn't have many years to choose from.
No, and part of that was COVID. Nobody's picking COVID.
COVID was a great year.
Yeah.
Look, if you invested in Zoom,
oh, that was a good year. Yes.
You had a good year during COVID.
Yep.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. PGA Championship. Glory's second shot. Some people will understand the reference. I'm sure Jason Sobel. Sirius XM, who I think will be busy starting in 90 minutes. CBS Sports HQ, The Athletic. He's everywhere. And he's here on the phone with us from Aronimink in Philadelphia. He joins us to talk a little PGA Championship. I actually asked Chesson Hadley this Monday. I said, isn't this better? Isn't this major better at the end? Because it really doesn't have a defining feel as the second major. He kind of liked it for the schedule. What say you?
I feel the exact same way, actually. I do agree with you. And these are two different things. I think the PGA for itself works best for an identity at the end of the schedule in August, where it is, as you were referencing, Glory's last shot,
right,
as it was in 2018 and before that. I think for the overall improvement of the schedule, though, for the majors to be streamlined with one major championship in every month from April through July, and then the FedEx Cup to finalize the season in August, I think it works better overall for professional golf.
Yeah, it may. And they really moved it because of the Olympics, right? Didn't they? They did that when they had to play Olympic golf in August. Right?
I think it coincided with that, but I think this is always part of the plan.
I like it.
Going back 10, 12 years ago, that this was he's part of the plan. I like it. I actually think it works better right now.
Maybe.
A lot of people are saying the PGA should move back to August. We liked it better before. People hate change. I'm into it, though, and I love the fact that, and I know nothing should be dictated by the FedEx Cup, but the PGA Tour schedule now ends before football season. I think that was an absolute must. They had to do that.
Yeah, and the truth is that who wants to play another major championship when it's 100 degrees? Because that's what it always seemed to be in August, no matter where they were. All right, I know you've got something on the Athletic. 30 players who might be able to take the legs out of Scotty Scheffler. I don't know. I made that last part up. Scheffler is the overwhelming favorite to the point where they're almost Tiger Woods betting numbers. He hasn't really had a great year. Why do you think it's this egregious?
So it's this egregious because of what you just said right there, Adam. He hasn't had a great year. And not having a great year from Scotty Scheffler's standards means in his last 3 starts, he's finished runner-up in each of them. He's lost to exactly 2 players in regulation. Riddle me that, how you do that in 3 starts and don't win any of them. Well, one of them, he went to a playoff with Matt Fitzpatrick at the RBC Heritage. And so you're right. He's not playing Scotty Scheffler A+ golf. This might be his B+ golf. But his B+ golf is good enough to finish runner-up to 1 player each of those weeks. And if it improves just a little bit more, he's going to win this thing. He's the defending champion, and what we've seen at the PGA Championship, Kerry Haig, the chief championships officer of the PGA of America, sets up these golf courses so well. I actually just finished writing an article about this, that essentially breaking down all the quotes and comments from players coming into this is that you have to hit it long off the tee. Long is better than short, and you can cover some of the bunkers if you hit it out there 305, 310. But also, you don't want to hit in the rough. So straighter is better than crooked. So you want long and straight. With your irons, you're going to need to be precise and hit them exactly where you want. And then, of course, try to make some putts. Okay, it sounds like every major championship golf course we've ever played, long, straight, hit your irons well, make some putts. Well, what does that mean? It means the best players are going to have the best chance of winning this thing. There's a reason why Scotty's the defending champion. Xander won the year before him. In fact, over the last 4 years, we've had 4 players who were 20-1 in the odds market before the tournament started. So it's not going down to even that mid-tier. It's the top-tier players who win this golf tournament because, quite frankly, you have to do everything really well.
The way I look at it, for some reason, the PGA Championship this is my perception, has been won by the player who really is just right now having the best year. Wouldn't that be Cameron Young?
It would actually be Scotty Scheffler. And I say this based on the stats. And look, if you're saying, would I rather have Cameron Young's wins at the Players Championship and at the Cadillac over Scotty's 1 win, bunch of runner-up finishes? Yes, absolutely. That said, I think Adam's strokes gained total is the greatest barometer of performance that we have. It really shows you how you're playing in comparison with all of your peers on the PGA Tour. And Scotty Scheffler is still pretty far and away number 1 on that list. Cameron Young's number 2, and he's playing great golf. And look, he's my pick to win, so I'm not arguing with you and saying Cameron Young can't or won't win this golf tournament. I'm just going to say that if we're picking a player who's played the best, I'm going to go with the numbers over the eyeball test, and I'm going to go with Scotty Scheffler.
I really thought, because I had a ticket on Cam Young at the Masters, I really thought Cameron Young was going to win the Masters. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I thought that if Rory McIlroy, because I said all week, Rory's going to win it again. But if it's not him, I think it'll be Cam Young. I also thought that Patrick Reed will have a chance. I'm going to get to at least one of those players in a second. It just didn't go. I think it was Friday's round where Cameron Young just couldn't make a putt. Like the ball just refused to go in the hole. It was the opposite of what we saw in crunch time at Bethpage during the Ryder Cup. I think if he putts well, he's going to be right there. But why hasn't there been a lot of talk about Rory McIlroy? Is it simply because he hadn't played?
I think so. That's a little bit of a part of it. Didn't play great at Quail Hollow last week.
No.
It's a place where he traditionally plays really well. And to me, those are signals for me. If a guy goes to a golf course that doesn't really suit him or where he hasn't played well and he plays well, I say, okay, watch out. He's about to turn a corner. When he gets to a golf course he likes, he's going to play well. When a golfer goes to a place where traditionally he plays really well and doesn't, I think, okay, he's going to go to a place where he doesn't like as much. It's going to be even worse. I mean, he's not going to improve. So, look, can Rory McIlroy play well this week? Of course. Can he win? Of course. He can win on any golf course, any place, any time. I don't know if you saw this, Adam, yesterday. He had a blister under his toenail, his pinky toenail, and he ripped the toenail off, which I put on Twitter. I said, to me, that's more impressive, ripping off your own toenail, than winning back-to-back Masters titles.
Interesting.
And I had all these people mad at me and yelling at me saying, I'm a runner. I do that all the time. I'm sorry. Ripping my own toenail off sounds like the most extreme source of pain that I could ever imagine. And it's not something that I would do, but Rory McIlroy has done it. He's out here today. Only played 3 holes in his practice round yesterday before he took his shoe off and left. But he's out here today, so apparently he's feeling better. But that could hamper him a little bit too. You never know.
Absolutely, he'd be on the injury report. That would probably keep some like basketball players out for a week. Jason Sobel, Sirius XM, CBS Sports HQ, The Athletic, everywhere. BetMGM. All right. I don't know why I think this. Maybe it's because it's Philadelphia. Because I know Aronimink and Marion are not the same golf course. But why am I channeling Justin Rose this week?
Well, first of all, I was going to wear my Mets hat around Philadelphia all week.
Hey, they won yesterday, Jason.
I know. It's still just a bad idea for like 10 different reasons, and so I'm not going to do it. But I did think about it. I had it in my hand before I left the house, and I thought about it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to press those buttons. So, in any case, Justin Rose, he's played well in the Philly area. He's got a lot of mojo here, of course, as you mentioned, won the U.S. Open at Marion back in 2013. He finished in a playoff here, lost in the playoff to Keegan Bradley at the 2018 BMW Championship. I actually caddied in that final round, which is kind of cool.
For Brendan Steele, right?
Career highlights. Yes, I did, yeah. But Justin Rose played great that week. Those are reasons to like Justin Rose. The one big reason to not like him this week is that he put new irons in the bag a few weeks ago. These aren't like, I went from the Titleist D's to the Titleist prototypes or the Pings or the Callaways. He's putting McLaren in the bag. McLaren doesn't make golf clubs. That's the only problem with those. And so he's insistent that, hey, look, I've played lots of clubs. These clubs are better than anything. And, of course, no player ever says,
right,
oh, yeah, I put terrible clubs in the bag. But I still am a little bit skeptical right now that Justin Rose can hit these clubs the way he wants to hit them based on the fact that he's used them 2 weeks now, and it hasn't been great over the first 2 weeks.
Would it be better if they were like McLaren makes automobiles or engines? Yeah. Would it be better if it was like Hostess? If Hostess made the I don't know, whatever. It's a terrible attempt at a joke. Another player. I don't even know if this player is suited, but man, I feel like we're going to hear from Patrick Reed this year. And this would not be a terrible place for him.
It's an interesting call. I think that Patrick Reed right now is in a place. Look, I haven't spoken with him, but he's sort of in this golf purgatory where he's getting his PGA Tour card back, but he can't get it back this season. He's serving a suspension for being on Live Golf. And so that won't happen until after the season is over in August. That said, he's playing the DP World Tour. He's already clinched enough points to have his card back next year. So nothing else really matters. So whereas everyone else is thinking, I'm going next week to this tournament, and then the week after I have that tournament, Patrick Reed has reason to not really care a whole lot about anything except playing major championships and trying to win them. So I think that could probably free him up a little bit. Really, anything he does right now is just gravy because he's going to be back to a regular PGA Tour schedule starting with the next season. And so, look, obviously he's got a great short game, and I think short game could be what sort of separates players this week. I mean, we talk about, I kind of joke about it, and I talk about, players who, have to hit it long, you have to hit it straight, and you have to do this, you have to do that. The green complexes. This is a Donald Ross course, and like all Donald Ross courses, they're very undulated greens, and I think that short game and making those 4, 5, 6 foot par savers are going to be so critical this week. So Patrick Reed's got a great short game. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see him up there.
By the way, for those people who are interested, I know you are, Justin Rose, top 5 finish is plus 800. Patrick Reed, top 10, plus 500. The guy who just won.
By the way, Adam, I was just going to say, Justin Rose is standing so close to me. I'm by the short game area that he might have heard me saying all that about his
Really?
iron. So,
oh man,
yeah, we'll see.
Did he look over at you and say, well, if he does now? Real quick, when I mentioned Justin Rose, you mentioned the Mets. Is he a Mets fan?
No.
Okay.
No, you mentioned Philadelphia, and I just decided to go in a different direction with it.
He's Justin Rose is smarter than to be him. He's smarter than both of us.
Yes, he's much smarter than both of us. I don't know if he can hear that, but I'm going to try to laud praise towards him after I just ripped his iron. So, no, he's walking away now. I don't think he can hear me.
All right, give me a couple of things you are thinking about from a wagering perspective as we head to the first tee tomorrow.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in, and I'm getting pulled back into 37-year-old. I can't believe he's 37. Ricky Fowler.
Wow.
3 straight top tens. Coulda, shoulda, woulda at Quail last week. It didn't quite work out for him, but he's playing some really good golf. Tends to play really well on Donald Ross courses. He won in Detroit a few years ago. He's played a Rodman twice before, has an 8th and a 13th place. I like everything about it. In fact, Adam, last night I got a text from my dad. My dad has never made a golf bet. In fact, I didn't know my dad stays awake during golf tournaments. I thought as soon as he puts golf on the TV, he completely just falls asleep, takes a nap. That said, he texted me, said, I was listening to you on the radio. I heard you say Ricky was plus 200 for a top 20 this week. Mom said it's okay. She agrees. Put down 500 for me. That's
Whoa!
the first golf bet he's ever made, so I have to be all in on Ricky now.
Wait, your dad going deep?
Yeah. I'm like, he's diving right into the deep end.
Wow. Okay, good. Well, now I would be rooting for Fowler anyway. It would be one of the most popular, if he were to win, it would be one of the most popular wins on the tour. First of all, USA Golf. At some level, we talk about the Ryder Cup, not that we're talking about the Ryder Cup, but Fowler's fall off. To go way back, David Duval's fall off, Jordan Spieth's fall off, Justin Thomas not necessarily being one of those players anymore. Those guys, if they could ever recapture and become dominant players again, at least top 15 players, although Thomas is, it would benefit the Team USA down the road. I like the Fowler pick. He has played very well. Anybody else you like?
I do, yeah. And first of all, I will say that American golf is not necessarily in a bad place. Yeah, okay, maybe Spieth isn't playing as well as he had, and Justin Thomas is working his way back up. I do like him this week. But Cameron Young, who we talked about, is a top 5 player in the world. He's played great. Chris Gotterup is a guy that I like this week. I like him every week. The guy's really good. So it's not as if, it might be a little bit of a changing of the guard, but it's not as if American golf has fallen off into a steep decline either.
True.
Brooks Koepka, another American player who's won 3 of these things. Oh, by the way, leads the PGA Tour in strokes gained on approach. I know the putter hasn't been good. I'm reportedly going with a new putter. I believe that's number 3 so far in the first 4 or 5 months of this season. But Brooks Koepka is a guy that I like. There's a little bit of an Oak Hill feel to this golf course where he won the PGA 3 years ago. Patrick Cantlay, another American who we haven't talked about much lately. He's ranked 30th in the world right now, but he's kind of priced like he's 30th in the world. I feel like there's a big bargain there. There's a value on Patrick Cantlay with 4 straight top 12 finishes. And then if you want to go really deep, some names for you. Kurt Kitayama's played well. Thomas Dietrich's been the 3rd best player on LIV this year behind Rahm and Bryce. And then how about the 2nd most dominant player in golf this year? Number 1 is Nelly Korda. Number 2 is Stuart Sink on PGA Tour champions. He's got 4 wins, nothing worse than a 6th place finish in 9 starts on the senior circuit. And we talk about guys playing with house money, nothing to lose. Literally nothing to lose for that guy this week.
Stuart Sink. That would be amazing. I'm still mad at Stuart Sink for stealing Tom Watson's Open Championship, so I can't support that. Jason Sobel, Sirius XM, you're on the air soon. Sir, I thank you very much for your time.
Of course, anytime.
You got it. Jason Sobel here on the Adam Gold Show. I'm not lying. I'm still mad at Stuart Sink. I don't know. We should break. Go over to the YouTube chat. YouTube, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan, and you can ask your question because One Timers is next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. We're celebrating hospitals and nurses nationwide this month, especially the critical role hospitals play in emergency care and in keeping our communities well cared for and healthy. My guest is Brian Floyd, Chief Operating Officer with ECU Health, sharing the details on the state's first rural emergency hospital.
The overwhelming story of what rural hospitals mean to the country and to North Carolina is not just about that emergency story. It is a place that provides economic stability to the market around them. It provides a place for jobs. It provides a place for people to grow and do service to their local community through that hospital environment. It provides a place of care close to home for people. It's really a major part of the fabric of a community when there's a hospital there.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
You don't build a tradition overnight. You earn it.
The Coca-Cola 600's underway.
This is a crown jewel race. It's a 600-mile salute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice.
It's do what we love because of the sacrifices that were made by our military heroes.
If you win this one, you'll carry it with you forever. It's NASCAR's toughest test of man and machine.
It's the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Memorial Day weekend.
As public power customers, we experience fewer outages and faster restoration than customers of other electric providers. But the benefits of having a locally owned electric system go far beyond unbeaten reliability. Our local public power employees support our community, providing electric hookups for events, installing and maintaining ballpark lights, holiday lights, traffic lights, street lights, and more. Local people working together to meet local needs. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card 7 years in a row, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops. Our philosophy is simple: be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and here's how we prove it. We are giving you better payouts, bigger payouts, more value on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long, and there is a lot of playoffs still to come, or are a lot of playoffs still to come. Plenty of time for the Knicks to mess it up. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way every game, every matchup, every moment. Spreads, points, threes, more. Build it all in a one same-game parlay. Go for bigger payouts. And I'm sorry if I took a shot at the Knicks. Look, I grew up at Madison Square Garden. I'm sort of a Knicks fan. I just don't have any faith in them. If you're betting same-game parlays during the NBA postseason, bet them on FanDuel because you get more for your buck. FanDuel.com/local. Get started today. FanDuel, official partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Distracted driving kills. Every glance away from the road puts lives at risk. Eating and drinking, texting, changing the music, or checking your phone. It can all wait. Behind the wheel, your only job is to drive. Buckle up, stay focused, keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. Protect yourself, your passengers, and everyone around you. Every seat, every time. This message is brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
This is Adam Gold.
From William, what does Jarvie need to do to get going?
Candy, like sour worms.
Oh, for sure. He's probably one of those psychos that likes warheads.
Yeah, nerds. He would eat those. Yeah, get a whole bag of those, Seth. Go nuts.
Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Cory Lavalette, North State Journal and The Athletic, going to join us at the top of the hour. Chip Patterson next hour. as well. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Hurricanes practice today for the second straight time, so they reminded each other how to put skates on, I guess.
Yeah, what a puck is.
Yeah, puck is flat.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Circle flat.
Flat. Anyway, right now it's time for one-timers.
Okay, so kicking things off, our friend Comebread, which he may not have heard you kind of address this, so just in case. Thoughts on the Buffalo goal that was reviewed, on if it was a good goal or not. Then after a lengthy review, reviewed for goalie interference, looked like a good goal to him as well. And it was Montreal defender interference.
Good goal, good goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's stick had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Even if there was interference, even if the 94 for Buffalo, Helnius, whatever his name is, even if he in some way impeded the stick was irrelevant. He was in position anyway. The puck was in his glove.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't prevent him from doing anything.
I know.
I don't understand why we take that goal away. It's a good goal. Should have been a good goal.
Next up from Brian. Any update / information on Nikishin's contract extension?
No, they won't. Again, I've said this before. Carolina would love to sign him to an 8-year contract. Right? They would love to sign him to an 8-year contract. But Alexander Nikishin won't sign the contract that the team would like to sign him to. Not now. So I think it's going to be a bridge deal, probably a 2-year deal. My guess is somewhere in the neighborhood of 6.5, something like that, and move on. And we'll see where everybody is after a year and a half, 2 years. But yeah, I don't think, to me, that's what it'll be after the season.
And last but not least, from one perspective, if you could steal one player from any NHL team for the Canes, who is it?
I'm stealing one player for the Canes? Connor McDavid. Actually, no. Alexander Barkov. That's the guy. I mean, I think he's the best player in the league. So, he'll be fun to have, too. All right, when we come back, Cory Lavalette, North State Journal, and The Athletic on the Canes.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
In the transfer portal world of college basketball, every answer asks another question. NC State gets a point guard, but he's 6'1". They need more size. Carolina gets a new coach, but he's got NBA experience. Will the college kids listen to him? Even Duke needs a little bit of size and goes to a Belmont transfer. Everybody still has questions.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Join us at Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, our biggest trade event of the year, May 14th through the 17th. Trade in your RV and get the highest value guaranteed. Then upgrade for less with new RVs starting as low as $94 a month. Plus, take 25% off select maintenance services. Save up to 40% on camp-ready must-haves. And enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Red, White, and New Trade event at your local Camping World, May 14th through the 17th. We'll see you there.
Canes fans, this is your playoff headquarters, the Dugout Tavern and Grill on Kelly Road in Apex. Catch every Carolina Hurricanes playoff game the way it's meant to be seen. An official member of the Canes Bar Network, the Dugout has the sound on for every game, a massive 16-foot video wall, and bucket specials, plus $4 Storm Surge drinks to keep the energy high all night long. So grab the gang, wear your red, and cheer loud. The Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex, where Canes fans bring the storm.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payment, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 28 500 five-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Dauntless Transmissions has been the trusted transmission shop in Raleigh for more than 27 years. But why do they call it Dauntless Transmissions? Well, dauntless means showing fearlessness and determination. Now, the experts at Dauntless Transmission are dauntless when it comes to caring for your vehicle. Whether that means a total transmission rebuild, complex engine or brake service, or just a routine tune-up, your vehicle will be dauntless when they're done with it. Visit dauntlesstransmissions.com. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
If you see a student being bullied, be supportive. Ask if they're okay and invite them to join you. You'll be an ally, and you can make a friend. Friendship! Visit StopBullyingSpeakUp.com and join Cartoon Network to redraw your world without bullying.
Drivers who switch to Progressive could save hundreds just by bundling home and auto insurance, because you can't go wrong saving money. Unless you spend it on a guitar, never learn to play it, but lie and say that you did. Then someone hands you a guitar at a party and asks you to play, so you decide to improvise this.
Well, don't you know that but that's not it. Dreams are fun and also good.
Yep, you can't go wrong bundling and saving money with Progressive. Well, depends on how you spend it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Blake on a 3-on-2 here for Carolina. Hall with speed, centering, score! Stankoven! Logan Stankoven now has the most goals of anyone in this postseason. A go-ahead goal in the third, 2-1 Carolina.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. I believe Dorofayev from Vegas has tied him. I'm not sure Alex Newhook from Montreal. What? I think Alex Newhook might have 7 also. Been a fairly good 8-game run in the playoffs, because we know he had a whole bunch of points in a row. He had a point streak ending this. I think he ended the season on a 7-game point streak. So, been a great run for that line, but honestly, that line has been great for a long time. It didn't just start scoring now. It has been really amazing since they came back from the Olympic break, but it did everything but produce a lot in the month and a half, 2 months prior to the Olympic break. This has all been building all year. Cory Lavalette from The Athletic and North State Journal is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. What have you done on your second spring break of the postseason, sir?
I never rest, Adam. You know that.
We all have things to do. We all have all sorts of things to do. All right, so let's quickly discuss that line, which is now starting to get massive run. I've heard it called the best line in hockey, and I guess production tells us that. But also what we have seen, how it looks, tells us that, and it's been going on for a while. Did we lose him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a surprise to... You got me there?
I do.
I don't think this is a surprise to us, that those of us who have watched. It was just a matter of pucks going in, I think, and now they're going in bunches. So, I mean, they've been dominant in the underlying numbers, and people can argue about whether that actually means anything, or if you're not producing, et cetera, but now that they are, all that stuff comes together, and you have a line that, I mean, it was a little bit of an afterthought, I'm sure, for some teams when facing the Hurricanes, and now all of a sudden it's the people you have to worry about.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt you have to worry about them, and I go back and forth with this. Are Jackson Blake and Logan Stankoven reaping the benefits of playing with Taylor Hall? Or is it the other way?
I don't know that it's necessarily one way or another, though I will say I thought that they were really good when they played with Nick Ehlers, too.
Right.
And so, I mean, I think Taylor Hall's benefiting for sure, but he has an element to his game that's a little different than them. He's more of a kind of rugged puck carrier versus Blake is kind of a dipsy doodle type, and Stankoven is more of a kind of straight ahead, try to slice through kind of player. And Hall, uses his size, uses his length to, create plays. How many times have we seen him loop around the back of the net and the puck ends up in the goal, because he's creating space and creating mischief for the other team.
Well, look what happened in the deciding game against Philadelphia twice. His speed down the left. I mean, to me, he's faster now than he's been in, I don't know, almost a decade. I don't know what Bill Burniston is doing, Carolina's strength and conditioning coach, but this version of Taylor Hall would not have been healthy scratched by the Chicago Blackhawks at any time. I don't know what they've done with Taylor Hall to make him this Taylor Hall again, but my gosh, the greatest $3 million and a little bit over that that has been spent in the NHL maybe ever.
Yeah, I think one thing we can learn is, ever since the NHL has put out those the NHL Edge statistics, is you can see things like speed burst and top speed and all that stuff. And both he and Svechnikov had dips after their knee surgeries, and that's not surprising.
Right.
But now you see that arch go back up, and I think that's where we're at with Taylor Hall. Is the explosiveness is back. Yeah. The same thing with Svechnikov. Last year you were kind of like, man, he doesn't really have that little giddy up and go. Now both of them do. It's a testament to what they can do with surgeries now. Like a knee injury was a death sentence for athletes at some point. And now these guys come back, almost stronger from it. It's crazy.
We're gonna move on to defense in a second, but you brought up Svechnikov. So just your level of concern that we have not seen that line be dynamic and creative, really apart from a period here or there in 8 games. So what are your thoughts about Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis?
I think Svechnikov's, if we're just talking offensively, I think Svechnikov's been the best of the three of them.
Agreed.
I think he's actually created opportunities on his own and just kind of hasn't had the luck to get some to go. I like what I saw in Game 4 against Philadelphia. I thought there were 2, 3, 4 moments where you're like, that's what this line looks like. Right. Now, obviously, they don't score, so we can, we're kind of back to the Stankoven argument. Like, hey, it's great to have opportunities and all that, but what have you done for me lately on the scorecard? So, Svechnikov, I'm not worried about because I think he's been impactful. You just don't want him getting down on himself at all, but he's not really that kind of guy. He's pretty even.
Yes.
Jarvis is the guy you worry about a little bit because he's the guy who kind of can ride himself a bit. And it's been a tough go for him. But I talked to Aho yesterday, and one of the things, I said to him, I was like, I know you.
Uh-oh. Died. We'll get him back. Get Cory Lavalette back. Even if it's just on the phone, because I want to hear what he said. I want to hear what Sebastian Aho said. Now I'm intrigued. There he is. All right. Tell me what you're back. Tell me what Sebastian Aho said.
So, I said to him, I'm like, you haven't given up a goal the whole series.
Right.
Against Philly. They were not on the ice for a goal against. In the Ottawa series, as a trio, they were on the ice for 1 goal against. Mm-hmm. Now, that's part of a bigger story of the Hurricanes aren't giving up goals. However, if you're not going to be producing and you're going to be checking good players, which that line does every single night, there are not easy assignment nights for the Sebastian Aho line.
Right.
There's value there, but you need to score. Those guys need to score. If they're going to win a Stanley Cup, they might be able to get through the Eastern Conference Final with the same kind of series out of those guys. they're not going to get past a team like Colorado without those guys.
No, not at all. And Sebastian brings it up. All he cares about is winning. Did we win? It's the only thing he cares about. Seth Jarvis is the same way. I talked to him about it specifically. As long as I'm making winning plays, it doesn't matter if I score. Andrei Svechnikov has never had a day where he didn't have a big smile on his face. And that's that. Just leave it there. All right, one player who was on the ice for a goal against for the first time in the playoffs in Game 4. Keandre Miller was the game-tying goal in the third period that was scored, I believe, by Alex Bump. And he lost the puck. It was his turnover that led to the goal. I don't care because his playoffs has been so eye-openingly great, I thought, before then. He and Sean Walker have been phenomenal as a pair. I realize that's a leading question. What have you thought of Keandre Miller? I'm hoping you agree with me, but if you don't, that's fine.
How dare he be on the ice for a goal against? Yeah, I mean, what you see is, this is elevated praise, I would say, but he's a lot like Jacob Slavin.
Yeah.
He's big, he's long, he can skate. He makes smart plays. He's just rangy, and he and Sean Walker are a great mix. This isn't how this was supposed to shake out at the start of the year. They started out with Sean Walker with Jacob Slavin and Chatfield and Miller, and there were so many injuries and all that. And they found something really good here because both those guys can skate first and foremost, which is so important for what Rod wants to do. But they're also both just really smart players. Like they just make really, really good plays. And Keandre Miller is elite level athleticism, which just makes he's a handful. I mean, I was talking to, NHL's Tom Galletti is here right now. And I was saying, I just said to him today, I said, the Rangers got to be kicking themselves. Absolutely be kicking themselves because the Hurricanes have done this to them twice now. They did the same thing with Brady Shea. It's the same exact situation. They had a situation where they didn't want to, they had already paid Shea. They'd already given him a $5 million contract, but they didn't want to, carry that ticket anymore. They didn't want to carry Keandre Miller's ticket. It's not going to work out. Some of it's, fit for sure, but average players don't perform this way in any situation. If they're not, if they're average, they're not doing this. And he's been so good, and he's a even keeled guy too. He's not, we saw him kind of laughing at the Flyers during the Flyers series. He doesn't get rattled. And he's a young guy. There's still upside there. There's offensive upside there.
He's got 6 assists in the playoffs.
Yeah, and there's he's been really, really good. And I mean, you look at this lineup and they signed Mark Jankowski, and all of a sudden you're like, what, if they don't win this year, what are they going to do to get better? Well, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a conversation. We don't have time for that conversation because there is a roster conversation about what's going on. They literally have Alexander Nikishin's contract. And let's just say they go and add another goalie at what, a starter, a third option, right? If Freddie wins the Conn Smythe, I mean, who knows what's going to happen here? But they're like the roster itself, the skaters are basically done apart from depth. So, and they're going to have probably $17 million in cap space after they move Jesperi Kotkaniemi, because I assume they're going to find a spot for him. By signing Mark Jankowski to that contract, he's their fourth center, unless they added somebody else, and I don't think they're planning on it right now. But I would assume they're going to move Jesperi Kotkaniemi. But my gosh, they are locked in. Let me ask you one quick question about real quick. Do you bridge deal for Nikishin, something in the 6.5 to 7 range?
I'll be interested to see what they do, because I think they might be smart to try to do something long now if they can. Yeah. Because I think his long-term home is next to Jacob Slavin.
I agree.
I mean, that's the end game here. Jalen Chatfield will have one more year after this year. I think that's your end game, and it might not be the worst idea in the world to tie him up before he gets the full benefits of playing with Jacob Slavin.
Right? True, but is he going to accept the deal that they would be like? If I look at it like when Jackson Blake signed his contract, my first reaction is, why would you sign that? Which right now is looking like that's kind of a bad idea on the agent's part. I don't think Alexander Nikishin's agent's going to accept the deal that the Hurricanes want to sign him to if it's 8 years, which is why I think it's going to be a bridge.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what kind of money they come up with. I mean, they've got, like we said, they're locked in, and the cap is just going up.
Yeah.
You can always get better, if you want to move guys out and whatever, but they have the money to do whatever they want, and they proved with the Keandre Miller deal that they're not afraid to go above. They're not one of those teams that's going to say, well, Jacob Slavin makes this much, so you can't make more than him. There are plenty of teams that do that, and it's just not a reality that you can really live in.
No,
especially when Jacob Slavin's ridiculously underpaid.
Right,
but also
he's already second. Right, he's already second on the team in defensemen. Because I got tons of messages when they signed Miller to that contract. Like, why are they paying him more than Slavin? I mean,
yeah,
got to pay somebody.
Well, we're seeing it.
Exactly. All right, Cory. I'll see you at the rink. I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you so much.
Sounds good, buddy.
Cory Lavalette from The Athletic and North State Journal. Chip Patterson, who actually you might have even seen him for a second. Chip Patterson joins us next.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
In the transfer portal world of college basketball, every answer asks another question. NC State gets a point guard, but he's 6'1". They need more size. Carolina gets a new coach, but he's got NBA experience. Will the college kids listen to him? Even Duke needs a little bit of size and goes to a Belmont transfer. Everybody still has questions.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
The weather is getting warmer, the days are getting longer, and it's the perfect time to uncover that bike and go on some adventures. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here from 99.9 The Fan for Law Tigers, and with spring days come random showers. So when you're on your bike in the middle of a rainstorm, it is always important to remember things like slowing your speed down, staying alert, avoiding puddles, and keeping reflective gear with you is always a great idea. But unfortunately, these precautionary measures don't always prevent an accident. And if you're ever in an accident that wasn't your fault on your motorcycle, one very important thing to remember is to always call Law Tigers first before calling your insurance company. At Law Tigers, they're riders too, so they get it. They understand everything. The value of your bike, your gear, what it's like to go through an accident. Case evaluations are always free, and you're not going to pay a dime until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Hi, I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. I learned about DLN shortly after graduating dental school. I wanted to help people who are not able to access the oral health care they need. As a new dentist, I wondered, do I have the skills to provide the care they need? And do I have the time when trying to build a new practice? Even now, after 10 years, I can tell other dentists, yes, you can, and this is a no-brainer. Dental Lifeline Network is a nonprofit that has helped me literally change the lives of people in my community through the Donated Dental Services program. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need each year. If you're a dentist or know a dentist, please share this important information. It's easy. DLN screens those in need and coordinates the initial appointment. Patients are treated right in your office on your schedule. If you're like me and want to make a real difference in someone's life, DLN makes it possible.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more.
That's willyouseeone.org.
Good morning, students! Cartoon Network wants you to start your day off right
by speaking up
against bullying.
People can be bullied for all kinds of things.
Who they are, where they're from, what they look like, or what they believe.
That's called identity-based bullying. If you see a student being bullied, be supportive.
Ask if they're okay and invite them to join you. You can be an ally
and make a friend.
Friendship!
Visit StopBullyingSpeakUp.com
and redraw your world without bullying.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is Adam Gold.
That's Frederick Anderson joking, believe it or not. Like, it's not great comedic timing.
Right.
But that is Anderson
there.
joking. You can tell. He's like, I'm not going to play your little games, but I know what you're doing.
Like when he was getting his award last season and he was on the ice and it just looked like he was walking through the park.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. It is Wednesday. Fun day.
And I haven't talked to our next guest in like 8 years. I told
him.
It's
been a minute. It's been a minute.
I know.
Well, normally this is the time of the year where you start ducking
Yeah.
Chip Patterson.
Summer and the holidays.
Exactly. Chip Patterson, CBSSports.com, Cover 3 podcast moderator, joins us on the Adam Gold Show. How are you, sir? You've pumped up for the PGA Championship?
I am pumped up for the PGA Championship.
Who you got?
I think that. Are you pumped up? I haven't gotten a chance to.
I'm in such hockey mode, man. It's
I know.
Sneaking
I
up
get
on
that. The I'm pumped up to see Michael Block and Dustin Johnson play golf together for 36 holes. You know,
I'm not for that.
There's a lot more, but I think that's what's got me going is that because of the course, because it's a major media market, because there's a lot of players playing well right now.
Yeah.
I just think the thing that gets me as excited is it's a depth of storylines and intriguing stories that are all colliding at kind of anybody can go get it course. You know, like
right.
It's because it is not so difficult that only a great player can win. We could have ourselves a very average major champion coming on Sunday. And that, in a way, if you've been following golf and not just, the top 4, top 5, but even, some of the up and comers, maybe but players who passed their prime trying to recapture some old form, maybe capture, I don't know, a career Grand Slam. Who knows? If this is one that I think anybody could get up and grab.
Real quick, because I do want to get to the ACC spring meetings. Chip Patterson is here. For me, the PGA is more like a regular golf tournament. It's a major, so there's pressure. But the way they set up the PGA is a slightly harder version of a regular PGA Tour event. And they almost like, this is what we do. We don't do what the USGA does by trying to make, I don't know, a major championship hard. Shock. Or the Masters is the Masters, and the Open Championship, if the weather is bad or good, depending on your point of view, then the scores are going to get, come way down. The PGA, man, let's go have at it. Let's go fire at pins, which in some ways is good and in some ways is not major championship-ish. But I agree with you.
But it has to be. I think in our severed golf world, where our attention is split between the PGA Tour and LIV and the women's tour and YouTube golf and your Instagram reels and everything. I mean, your golf brain is being pulled in so many different directions. Like, bless the PGA Championship for getting everybody under one roof so we can actually see the best professionals compete against each other, because that's the one thing that all of golf civil war from the last 5 years has shown me is that nothing beats the major championships.
Right.
And the fact that the PGA Championship is the most PGA Tour of the major championships is A-okay with me. You know, like each of the 4 majors has their own identity. This one is come on, let's go get it.
Again, all the majors have something about them that I either like or sets it apart, and that's probably what the PGA is, how it sets it apart. This is the most normal of the majors, and that's fun. You alluded to Jordan Spieth winning, potentially. We had Jason Sobel on last hour. He thought Ricky Fowler was an interesting pick, who has been trending in a great direction. It would be awesome for the sport if Fowler won a major. He's got it players, and even that was sort of a late quasar run the last few holes, and then I think he needed a playoff to win. But it would be really cool for the game for somebody like Fowler to just capture a little bit of magic in his late 30s. All right, let me get to the ACC spring meetings.
Can I say one quick thing on Fowler?
Absolutely.
I think that the 2 stories that you were looking at, Fowler, he already has captured something. It's whether he can capture it here this weekend at Aronimink, right?
Okay.
But his form over the last, 6 months, 18 months, he has found something.
He's better.
Like Ricky Fowler is playing better golf right now than he has in a very long time. If there's any time to cash it in, this has to be it.
Right.
Another one who I thought was right on the cusp of it before his equipment change was Justin Rose. And that'd be another one where you'd be looking at it if not for those McLaren irons, amazing. Truly incredible.
McLaren.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he tested them. I'm sure he took him out to, I don't know, Daytona and tested him. Maybe he's not that far from Watkins Glen in Pennsylvania, right? And
maybe
tested him there.
And you know what? And maybe he has been hustling us like a pool hall. He's going to show up at the course where we all think he could go and play well enough based on his course history. He's going to show up and everything's going to click. Oh, no, I actually have to move my T marker from my right pocket to my left pocket with the McLarens. And now I found the slot. Yeah, no, we'll see. Maybe he's going to have it. But Justin Rose and Ricky Fowler, I think, are more likely than Jordan Spieth when we're looking at, golfers of a different generation trying to recapture something.
All right, to the ACC spring meetings, Chip Patterson is joining us here. Cover 3 podcast moderator. That's the English word I was trying for. And CBSSports.com. So now the ACC is all on board 24. I don't know if it was near unanimous. We know Dabo Sweeney's not interested in 24. But basically they say it's a consensus. It's the best thing, 24 teams. I think ultimately if they can convince Greg Sankey that that's the right number, I don't know what you're going to have to do for Greg Sankey to get him on board there. But the ACC is all on board. I can't think of any really good reasons why 24 is a good number, except that you wouldn't be asking fans to go travel for an ACC championship game, since that would go. Your thoughts on why the ACC would be interested in 24?
Can I answer this personally and then professionally?
You can do it anything you like. This is our conversation.
All right. Adam Gold has consented to a game of personal professional. Okay. Personally, at this moment, Adam,
right.
I don't care. Okay. This whole thing has gone into a step in the process where we're just waiting. We are waiting for corporate games of chicken.
Sure.
And in some cases, these are corporations. In some cases, these are universities or conferences, which now act like corporations. We are sending emails back and forth. We are actively negotiating. We are doing diplomacy. And at each step of the way, we might move a certain little bit. But I'm just saying at this point, there will be a moment where they start to actually reach a consensus. But the problem is they're still too close to the no bad ideas portion of the proceedings.
Right.
So then who cares? Like when we actually start to take meaningful steps, didn't Jim Phillips also message that ESPN was interested in 16?
ESPN doesn't even want to move off 12. They want to stay at 12. they would accept 16, but we know why. I mean, it's pretty transparent because they know if we go to 24, it's gonna be other networks. Fox is gonna be involved, CBS, NBC, maybe all of them, certainly at least one of them, and ESPN doesn't want to give up the whole thing.
Yeah. Again, that's where personally, we haven't gotten to the professional part yet. Personally, you and me, Adam, it's just like, it just feels like we're just stuck as pawns in the big chess game, and it really stinks. Okay.
Let me just jump in here because before I get the professional, because here's what I don't get, because I'm looking at it from an ACC perspective. At 12 or 16, I'm going to get one. I think in 16, I have a good chance at getting two. Maybe not a great chance, but a good chance at getting two. Who knows? Maybe Virginia Tech comes back. SMU is strong. Miami's still doing their thing. Maybe we get 3. But
who are you knocking out?
But here's what I know. Here's what I know. Yeah. I know the SEC and the Big Ten are going to get 5. But if I'm at 24, I'm not getting dramatically more. I think my ceiling is probably 3, maybe 4, but probably 3 at 24. And I know the SEC and the Big Ten are going to get 8. Or why do I want to create the obvious disparity between me and them? Like you're just asking for a problem. I think the Big 12 is the same way.
I think that the ACC, just as you imagine a top 25 in your mind, the ACC is holding down number 7, 19, 24. You know, like that is where the ACC is in college football right now. And the problem about what you're saying, and like with the bring Virginia Tech back, it's a closed club. The Big Ten and the SEC powers have closed off those rankings. You could have more teams in the ACC of top 15 quality, but who are you kicking out? You know, it's just I think that's the unfortunate game, and that's where the ACC, if you're acting as the ACC, I think is probably motivated to jump behind 24 team. I mean, Dave Doran was quoted today as saying like, "Oh yeah, they told me I would have made a couple playoffs." Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he told us last year at Operation Football that he was in favor of 24.
And I mean, whatever, 24 has been going on at the FCS, and I know this is a very, very different game than the FCS, but I see more is more. I see why we're headed that direction.
All right, did we handle the professional thing there inadvertently?
The professional was that I understood. No, the professional was imagine a top 25. ACC has 7, 19, and 23. That sounds about right. Who's it going to be this year? We'll have SMU and Louisville as 19 and 23, and Miami will be your 7 or 6.
I am optimistic that the ACC's football playing schools, and in this case, I'm talking about Miami, I'm talking about Virginia Tech, maybe at some point Florida State and Clemson will come back into the chat. But I'm optimistic, and SMU obviously is very good, but I'm optimistic that those schools will start pushing higher. I have less optimism about Clemson because I just don't think Dabo Swinney wants to play the games he's going to have to. And I'm not talking about shenanigans. I'm just talking about he doesn't want to do it the way it has to be done these days. I can't wrap my brain around him becoming a modern version of Dabo Swinney. So I think if Clemson is going to get back into that mix, it's going to be with a head coach not named Dabo Swinney.
We've got, I think that there's almost there's an interesting tree because Rhett Lashley was an offensive coordinator at Miami, right?
Yep.
And he was not a Mario assistant. I believe he was a Manny assistant.
Okay.
But he saw Miami. I mean, Manny Diaz was still recruiting at a high level.
Yeah.
Miami's had the recruits, right? So you know he's been there. He's understood what it really looks like to have it rolling. You've got a couple other spots where you start to look, and it's not just Clemson and Florida State. It's like Mike Norvell and Dabo Swinney. Games kind of passed them by. They're both kind of the rah-rah type. You need to be able to go out there and do business. I mean, Jeff Brom is the new coach on the block, but he's got a Louisville NIL department that can kind of roll behind him and deal with the professionalized manner of the sport. I think there's almost an influence of sort of Miami as the new Clemson. We used to think Clemson was the model in the conference. The Miami Hurricanes are the model in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
They still have to win the daggum conference. But at least when you start to look at the way that they have approached, we still recruit high school at a high level. We go to the transfer portal to be able to address our needs after that. We hire good coaches. We put them in a position to succeed. And now that they finally had those big playoff wins, you can have some validation to what's been a program running at a high level over the last couple seasons.
Yeah, look, Miami has always been more of a national than a local university, been a TV show more than necessarily with a great local fan base. They never sold out the Orange Bowl except for Florida State games or if they were playing the University of Florida in a game or a Notre Dame game. But speaking of Notre Dame, which I kind of found a little bit funny, I don't know if ironic is the right way to phrase it, but when Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC, says, like, Notre Dame last year, they should have been in, I wonder where Pete Bavacqua and Jim Phillips buried the hatchet based on last year's Bavacqua wine fest all over national media when Jim Phillips was simply lobbying for one of his actual member institutions to make the playoff. But as to Notre Dame, it came out yesterday that, there were a lot of, at least one AD was willing to go, not on the record, anonymously, saying, we're kind of over the whole Notre Dame thing. In the past, I think they're wrong. I think Notre Dame added tons of value to the league. But the future, I think they probably have more of a point.
I mean, I'm sure they're over it. I mean, what a horrible leverage advantage for any athletic director there. The athletic director at Notre Dame might sit in as an athletic director in some of those meetings in Amelia Island, but you know where else they sit? With the conference commissioners for the college football playoff. I mean, it's just, it's such if somebody was able to just come step in with that kind of power in these kinds of settings, it makes total sense that if I was an anonymous ACC athletic director, I'd be kind of over dealing with all of this
today. But I do believe that Notre Dame added at least as much value to the league as they took from it. Their place in the college football ecosystem is different, which is why the ACC was so cool with having the association. When it mattered who your bowl alignment was, when it mattered, for their own television schedules, even if it was just 2 or 3 games, those games mattered to the ACC because nobody else was any good. So I thought that the ACC was getting at least as much out of that association in the past as they were giving up.
That's a fair analysis. I was just, when I saw the quote in Brett's piece, I just thought about the way that I talk when I talk to Brett McMurphy. I talk a lot of smack. I can't help it. He just brings it out of me. I curse more, like I say mean-spirited things. I love Brett. I truly
awesome.
do. He's been dear friend and good to me for a long, long time. But yeah, I totally get it. I see how if you're sitting in the hallway coming out of one of these meetings where you've been bullied by an athletic director because they've got so much more leverage in the relationship, I'd be a little frustrated with it too. But yes, fair analysis in terms of who got what value. And I will say that some of this is probably also has been brewing in terms of icier feelings as Notre Dame considers its own future.
Mm-hmm.
It's Notre Dame. Again, these are the two things I've talked about them both with you that just continue to rattle around my head, which is totally healthy. But Notre Dame football and Duke basketball, as more and more of these athletic departments become rogue actors, those are few, unlike there's nobody else in those kinds of conversations in those two sports to me.
And Phillips talked about the Duke Amazon deal, which might have a snag because Michigan apparently didn't get permission from the Big Ten to have their game be a standalone. Duke got permission from the ACC and ESPN to remove these 3 games from the basketball schedule and sell them to Amazon. But Duke might have to find another opponent rather than Michigan to pull this one off. Speaking of Duke, and this is really not about Duke, and it could be about basketball or football. Now we're at 76 teams in basketball, and we're eventually going to be at 24. Do you think, Chip Patterson, that this is going to manifest itself in better schedules or worse schedules, or no difference at all, which is sort of leaning towards worse schedules for a lot of teams? Because I believe that it will not increase the schedule strength of basically anybody that wasn't doing it anyway.
I think it'll be better. I think it will be better schedules for the fans on television. I do not think it will necessarily be like, I think that we will continue to move towards a television product for the scheduling purposes, especially instead of getting the on-campus or home and homes. I think about how Florida State and Georgia canceled their home and home this week, and it was immediately followed by the news of look for a neutral site game, maybe in Atlanta. And it's because those schools can get paid.
Right.
I mean, it's a payday. You're grabbing everything that you can. Amazon deals. We're playing in DC. We're playing in Madison Square Garden. There was, Baylor and Virginia played in Dallas, I think. It was just kind of like a one-off.
Yeah.
I just think that you'll continue to see more of those types of events, which are still going to be, again, like, is it going to help or hurt scheduling from the purposes of a strength of schedule, the same or better? But for the purposes of fans getting that on-campus, in-stadium experience, I think that's going to be worse.
By the way, Duke and Illinois just announced the home-and-home basketball series this upcoming year at Cameron Indoor Stadium, and the following year in Champaign-Urbana. That's cool. Yeah, that'll be the only non-conference game at Duke, unless other than the Big East, ACC, or ACC. I'm Big East. That's probably
whoever it is.
Right.
I mean, whoever they send. Yeah.
Used to be. I was around when it was the Big East ACC Challenge. That was the first time I talked to Gary Williams, and I asked him about Walt Williams. Do you even remember Walt Williams? Were you born in '89, Chip?
I was 2 years old.
You don't remember this. Never mind. Anyway, I asked Gary Williams about a Maryland great, Walt Williams. What does he have to do to get better to go to the NBA? Because Walt decided, as Gary was coming in for his first year, to stick around and help Gary get the program going. And Gary's like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what my players got to do better. He yelled at me. I thought I asked him a normal question.
Oh, you've got me jumping on being Maryland literate with Joe Smith. The Joe Smith teams were those are the ones, and especially that whole era of ACC basketball was me falling in love with college basketball as a sports fan.
That 95 year. Wow.
Yeah.
With
Duncan.
Wallace, Rasheed, Stackhouse and Wallace.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Duncan. Also, who was the guy at the star at Virginia? That was a good team too. I'm trying to remember his name. Totally blanked on it. I know there are UVA fans that are probably screaming at their radios right now.
And I love that they are.
Chip Patterson, you're the best, my man. I appreciate your time. Thank you. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Y'all be well.
Love it. All right. When we come back, we're going to stretch. We're going to place bets. We have what do we have tonight? Oh, the final game of Colorado, Minnesota tonight. Maybe that gives you a hint as to where I'm going. Next.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, all FanDuel customers, not new customers, not tall customers, all customers can get 30% profit boosts to use before the golf tournament begins this week. It's a major, which means probably you're always going to win. So you can use them on top finishes, top 5, top 10, top 20. Back the golfers you think are going to be in the mix come Sunday, because in a tournament like this, it's not just about who wins, it's about who stays near the top. But really, it's about who wins. FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, golf. Play your game. Make more putts. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Have you ever considered a career as a public power line worker? Line workers in public power communities keep the electricity flowing to families and businesses. As a public power line worker, you're part of a team that builds and maintains a locally owned and operated electric system. You can work close to home, grow your career, and support your local community by providing safe, reliable, and sustainable electricity. Learn more about public power and careers in public power at electricities.com.
Turning 65 soon? Navigating Medicare can be overwhelming and confusing, but you're not alone. The NC Department of Insurance SHIP program can help. SHIP counselors can help you understand Medicare benefits to make your best choices. Visit ncship.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Distracted driving kills. Every glance away from the road puts lives at risk. Eating and drinking, texting, changing the music, or checking your phone. It can all wait. Behind the wheel, your only job is to drive. Buckle up, stay focused, keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. Protect yourself, your passengers, and everyone around you. Every seat, every time. This message is brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card 7 years in a row, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops. Our philosophy is simple: be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. We're celebrating hospitals and nurses nationwide this month, especially the critical role hospitals play in emergency care and in keeping our communities well cared for and healthy. My guest is Brian Floyd, Chief Operating Officer with ECU Health, sharing the details on the state's first rural emergency hospital.
The overwhelming story of what rural hospitals mean to the country and to North Carolina is not just about that emergency story. It is a place that provides economic stability to the market around them. It provides a place for jobs. It provides a place for people to grow and do service to their local community through that hospital environment. It provides a place of care close to home for people. It's really a major part of the fabric of a community when there's a hospital there.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
This is Adam Gold.
540.
Yeah.
Right, the big outer belt loop. Why don't we just call them inner loop and outer loop? Don't give me north, south, east. It changes. It's a circle.
Yeah, they should. They use it for belly buttons.
Right? Inner and outer.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Use it for belt lines.
All right, I'm done with the rant.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. Victoria is on the ones and twos. Next hour, Gary Williams, 5 Clubs Golf, will join us. PGA Championship. Just outside of Philadelphia, Aronimink. They had, trying to remember the last time there was a major there. It's probably been something like 60 years or so. 70 years, I think, since they've had a major at that track. But it's cool going to a place in the Northeast that they haven't gone to in a minute. But anyway, let's stretch.
Okay, so, AI has gotten a little ridiculous lately.
Allen Iverson?
Yeah, that one. But
Andre Iguodala?
all of them.
Okay.
But there's a new thing to be worried about with AI, apparently. And this, let's just add this to the list.
Yeah.
So you know how some people, and this article in particular is saying the youths like to...
Utes?
They like to do, peace signs in their pictures and whatnot. Well, that may be a bad idea. Also, doing the bunny ears behind people could be another bad idea because, thanks AI, according to a new report, cell phones are able to capture a high-resolution image, which could include your fingerprints. So, scammers, thieves, bad people
Really?
could potentially steal your fingerprints. Yep.
Off a picture?
Yep. That's the latest.
What kind of camera is that?
concern.
It's like the Hubble telescope.
That's legit. Yeah, it is. Because so they're saying there are 3 things that you should kind of do to, keep in mind, I guess, if you're going to go this route. So they say it would take a significant, very advanced piece of equipment to do this as of yet, but they do warn that AI technology is moving fast, so it may get here before you know it. So it would need a pretty advanced, some kind of software to do that. So maybe we're not there yet, may not have to worry about it, but they do say steer clear of doing things like taking selfies up close to your face and doing the whole peace sign thing. A lot of people like to do that. That is even closer to your fingerprints, and it's more fair game, I suppose.
Okay.
So they even have it down to measurements, like staying a foot or arm's length away from the camera. So there you go. We don't need to see up your nose. Then they say with the bunny ears thing, you might be safe, but that could also be at risk. And thieves would probably need multiple images. So don't make this your regular go-to picture.
I think that we're really grasping here.
Yeah.
I think we're really grasping here. I don't think they make a camera that can do that.
Not yet, but we'll see.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, who knows? I'm telling
But
you.
who's doing this anyway?
Thieves got nothing else to do. Right?
Bunny ears.
That,
What are you,
to me,
4?
that's a whole different conversation.
How old are you?
Like doing that stuff, that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, thieves got plenty of time because they don't want to just, do good human things. So
Right.
who knows what they'll have time to do here. So yeah, just be careful if you're doing that. Or they also say you could do this, which just feels like a lot of work just to not do the bunny ears peace sign thing. You could blur your fingerprints before you post it online. Yeah, I don't think these people are doing that. So, if you must throw up bunny ears or peace signs in your close-up selfies, then just flip your hands over. Just flip your hand over and have your fingernails out. That way your fingerprints are the other direction. So it's just so...
Just don't do that.
This is the world we live in, people. You know what else? What kind of world we live in? We live in an NHL playoff world where I like to make some bets.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
All right. I know you're going to start with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Only one game tonight.
I know. I'm
what do you
stay
got?
there. I got a few bets. So,
All right.
First up, I'm going to say an anytime goal scorer that we are very familiar with. Why not? This could be the end of this series for them. Martin Necas, anytime goal scorer, plus 140.
Yeah, look, we haven't talked a ton about that series. Obviously, we haven't really gotten into any of the other series that much anyway. Without Joel Eriksson Ek and without Jonas Brodin, I just don't think Minnesota's got a shot.
Yeah.
And I think the series ends tonight in Colorado. I will give you my wager in a moment. But I think, I think the series is ending tonight. We're going to start at the PGA Championship, and we're going to start with a couple of top 20 finishes. All right? We are going to go Jordan Spieth at plus 210 for a top 20. And Patrick Reed is pretty good value for a top 20, by the way, for Spieth. Plus, there are available boosts.
Yeah.
Patrick Reed plus 230 for a top 20 finish. Exactly.
Huh.
Like both of those.
Yeah. Well, I also like this one. First period goal in first 5 minutes. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. Could be a high-scoring game today. things just might start rolling. So if you go with that, that's plus 170 all by itself.
All right, I'll give you the NHL game tonight. Colorado, minus a goal and a half. Under 6.5. Plus 268. But I'm going to make it even a little spicier. Nathan McKinnon, anytime goal. Plus 477.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a boost there, too.
Probably. Yeah, between the anytime goal scores, I almost went with Nazem Kadri because he's also on fire. So that's probably not a bad one to go. He's plus 230.
Yeah.
However, I'm also going with the Avs tonight. And I don't know. I'll take the over 6.5 because maybe it'll get crazy towards the end. Who knows? Plus 165. Maybe they're just trying to shut it down tonight, end it, and yeah, who knows? We'll see.
All right, I'm going to give you a top 10 finisher.
Go.
Ricky Fowler, top 10 plus 400. Again, a boost is available. And on top of that, should we go for a winner?
Yeah, why not?
Rory McIlroy's plus 950.
Really?
He's the best player on earth in major championships. Won 2 back-to-back Masters.
He's on fire right now.
The year after, he played last week, but he didn't. He was just there. And he just won the career Grand Slam a year ago, winning the Masters. Rory's plus 950. There's a boost available.
Yeah. And if he does some karaoke, then you really should bet on him.
After. He would do it he would do it after. Yeah. By the way, Matthew and Alex Fitzpatrick, because they just won that tournament a couple of weeks ago, they refused to karaoke.
Really?
I didn't know you could do that, but they refused.
Not even backup singers?
No, they refused to do it.
Oh.
They refused to do it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Look, it was cool to see Matthew and his brother win. Because it got his brother full status on the PGA Tour, and he has backed it up by playing well. I think he was in the final group in Charlotte this past weekend. So Alex Fitzpatrick has played super well on the PGA Tour since earning his card, and really he's had a pretty good start to his professional career, even in Europe. We'll talk more about golf things with Gary Williams coming up. On the other side, we have the Wall of Sound. We'll get back into the Stanley Cup playoffs. We had a goal that was disallowed yesterday, and I still don't know how. We have a problem, I think, with replay. I think we've got a problem with replay. Why can't we figure this out? I'm not sure maybe they don't want to. Maybe they like the controversy. We'll talk about that, and we'll do the Wall of Sound next.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Golf's second major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen for coverage all week long of the PGA Championship from Aronimink Golf Club in Pennsylvania. Find out if Scotty can go the distance again or if a new champion emerges. We'll have leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Wanamaker Trophy. The PGA Championship on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by McConnell Golf, where members experience 17 club properties across 4 states with 1 membership.
Jungle Cashword Scratch-Offs and Digital Instance games are here.
2 ways to play.
Yeah. Play Scratch-Offs like you do.
Scratch it.
Play Digital Instance on your phone.
2 ways to win.
Right. 2 ways to find letters and complete words. 2 ways to win up to $150,000.
That's a lot of crackers.
Jungle Cashword from the North Carolina Education Lottery. 2 ways to play, 2 ways to win instantly. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.79 to 3.90. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the Aluminum Company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The Aluminum Company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done.
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
At Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care, we spend days, nights, and weekends in 3 convenient locations providing specialized care for kids and adults. Sprains and strains, shoulders and knees, fractures, hammies, and more. All that and all without an appointment. Walk in or limp in, either way you'll get the care you need whenever you need it. Visit us today at wakemed.org.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
Every second counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24/7 to provide free assistance in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Poison Help. 1-800-222-1222.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-296-6868. That's 800-296-6868.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Taylor Hall, the intercept. He's right back in. Centering pass. Save Lagar. It's off his glove and in. The series is over. Carolina is on to the Eastern Conference Final.
Slavin, he gets it to Hall. Hall whips it across. Blake with a shot. He scores! It's over! Series over! Jefferson Blake wins it in overtime!
Maniscalco is going to get beat up if they keep winning games in OT.
I know.
Trip Tracy is relentless.
I saw that. Poor Mike.
It's like constantly being in the corner.
I know. So, oh.
Mike can take the punch, so credit to him. But
he's a big guy too.
So but
still, Trip's going
Trip's
crazy.
not playing. Trip Maniscalco's he wears armor now
exactly.
in the booth.
We need to talk to Frank, see what it's like at home.
Frank is well cared for.
Oh, big time.
Well cared for.
Oh, big time.
We'll talk a little hockey here. Gary Williams is going to join us on the other side. We'll listen to Rod Brindamore from practice. Carolina, we will not know who Carolina's playing for a minute. Buffalo and Montreal, I think they're going the distance, which means that the Eastern Conference Finals won't start till at least Wednesday, maybe even later. And I think we'll probably start the West ahead because I think Colorado, Minnesota is ending tonight. Although if it ended up going 7, Game 7 would be Sunday. And Vegas and Anaheim is headed for Game 6 tomorrow. Could end. I think Anaheim probably wins the game tomorrow night. But tomorrow's so Game 7 is Saturday, so we'll know.
Yeah.
And as soon as we know what the matchup's going to be, or when the end is for the West, they'll be able to set the schedule. So if Minnesota wins tonight, and even if we go to Game 7, well, if Colorado wins tonight, even if Anaheim and Vegas go to Game 7, the truth of the matter is that they know it ends Saturday. So they can go Colorado versus whichever team emerges. They can start that, let's just say, Tuesday and plan on Carolina and winner of Montreal, Buffalo for Wednesday. Again, that's where I think is the earliest we're going to get hockey, although I guess if Montreal or Buffalo win the next two and finish it Saturday, maybe we do start Monday. It's very possible. But, it's still, either way, it's still a long break. Which fine. I am not in any way, shape, or form concerned about it. I'm just not. I think this team is past being concerned about those types of things. All right, are we ready for the Wall of Sound?
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
All right, let's start with the head coach. By the way, in this Wall of Sound, we are going to talk Bryce Young. And there was a conversation had on Unsportsmanlike this morning about Bryce Young and a potential contract for him. Let's talk about, the coming down, the relief of winning a series, head coach Rod Brindamore.
I actually thanked the guys today for getting it done so quick. So yesterday, instead of preparing for a game and talk about added stress and, worrying about all that, I got to bring my kid out here and skate. Thank you. That's a stress reliever, and that's a good day. And, when you go longer, we lose that game, now you're here, you say something happens, all of a sudden you're going, that's just added mental stress on your group that can be good, but we've been through all that. We've been through enough of that. So I think the mental rest is going to help us.
People forget. I get the rest versus rust. I get that conversation because all sports are about being in a rhythm. All sports. There isn't a game where being in the flow of things isn't a benefit. But the truth of the matter is that every single time you take the ice, step on the court, the field, every single time, there's an element of physical danger at play. And the fewer games you play, the fewer games you are going to get run through the wall by an opponent. The fewer times you risk losing a key body that you need to win. And I'm not in any way, I don't have to apologize for this. Joel Eriksson-Ek and Jonas Brodin from Minnesota. In a series against Colorado, losing your best two-way center, but maybe your best center in Eriksson-Ek, and your best defensive defenseman in Brodin. Against the Colorado Avalanche? Oh, man, you can't lose those two players. It'd be like Carolina playing without Stahl and Slavin. Not. Minnesota's without those two players. And again, they might have gotten hurt anyway, whatever. But every time you play, you run the risk of losing somebody. Every single time. So when you can end it, I got a text from a good friend, somebody that we'll bring on again during the playoffs, who asked me, should Carolina tank in Game 4 and try to win it in 5? I'm like, why?
What?
I get it. He was thinking about you being off for so long.
You don't want to play with your food in the playoffs or ever.
Get out of it.
Yeah.
Get out of it. Yeah. All right. Now we need to get Sebastian Aho's confidence back. Rod Brindamore, how do you go about getting number 20 back on the score sheet?
Well, I don't think he's not confident. He's actually played well. He's just not on a score sheet. But their line defensively is actually probably the best he's played, their whole line ever. What their way they're going about it, they're not scoring. That's where we talk about the power play. They're the ones getting the most ice time on those. They got to connect. They've been better. We've had a lot of good looks last game. They got to execute, put it in the back of the net. But I always say they're playing against the other team's best guys, and they sawed that off. Whether they scored 15 goals and given up 15, that's the same thing. So they've done a good job, and we do need them to get on the score sheet. He knows that, but I've been happy with the way they've gone about their business.
We do forget that. Everybody, This is what I got after the Hurricanes swept the series. Seriously. Like in the comments section of YouTube when we're doing the podcast. Aho's been awful. Like, what are you talking about? They haven't scored. But there's a difference between he hasn't scored and awful. We do want them to score.
Yeah, of course.
But if you watch during the game, and this is the beauty of Aho, is that he is a true 200-foot center.
Mm-hmm.
At times, his offense vanishes.
Mm-hmm.
And the offense for him, Jarvis, and Svechnikov has not been there. And they're going to need it to beat Montreal or Buffalo. And if they accomplish that, whoever comes out of the West, be it Colorado or Vegas or Anaheim or Minnesota, probably Colorado. They're going to need that. They're going to need him to score. And same thing with Andre and same thing with Jarvis. Going to need them. I'm not worried.
No.
All right. Bryce Young. They picked up the 5th-year option, right? So now, what does a long-term contract look like? Chris Canty and what? Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, our friend Evan Cohen, got into it over Bryce Young.
He has not been a historical bust by any stretch of imagination. He just hasn't been good enough for me to give him top of the market value that I need to see more.
So what is it, 35?
I can't do that. Under 20.
No.
I'm back up.
He's not gonna do
That's
that.
the point. I'm waiting.
He's not gonna do it.
That's the point. I'm waiting.
You're not going to get a deal done. Are you trying to get a deal done or no?
I don't know. That's why. Who's taking on the risk?
Are you willing to pay more to be sure? That's the question that you have to ask the Carolina.
Totally
you're
good
willing
with
to do that.
If you're going to say market value is 40 and he's going to be so good and so...
No, that's not market value. That's middle-class quarterback money.
If middle-class quarterback money is $40 million and he's going to be so good to make me want to give him $50 million next year, I'm cool with that. I'll live with that. But I'm not giving him...
Well, hold on. It might not be $50 million. It might be $60 million.
All right. So Evan's right. Which is why I've been... Go back to year one. When everybody was out on Bryce Young, I was not. I said, it's year one. It's a long race. Look at what's around him. Nothing. No protection. No weapons. Horribly coached team. This doesn't mean, by the way, that Frank Reich wasn't a good coach. That was a terrible mix. Meddlesome owner. All of that. There was no chance he was going to succeed. I'm like, wait a second. There's a reason why they took him number one. Let's just pump the brakes on everybody's doom and gloom and move on. See what happens. Wasn't great in year two, but got better at the end. What did I say as we got into year three? I'm like, I don't know what value to put at the end of year two because there was nothing to play for. The wins and losses had no consequence. We saw at times really good, at times bad, but most of the time, it was just sort of game manager stuff. The one thing I've always said about Bryce is that at the end of games is when we see his best. A lot of comebacks, a lot of chances. He put his team in position to win a lot of games, even if the numbers weren't great. We have still yet to see him throw for more than 200 yards in consecutive games. That is stunning to me. So here's where I am with Bryce. I got to see it this year. I got to see Bryce Young take the step that he is a quarterback that I can win big games, playoff games because of. Not somebody who's a passenger, but he's going to have a game that is going to win me that game. And if I don't see it this year, then I am not extending him. Then I am drafting my quarterback of the future, something like that, or seeking out my quarterback of the future after this year. But if I determine that Bryce is the guy, then, I mean, he's not a top 5 quarterback in the league no matter what it is. But if he can be a top 12 quarterback in this league, 15 quarterback in the league, then, I'm going to pay him what that going rate is. That's where I am with Bryce Young. But I am still in, you got to show it to me first. And I don't think we've seen it. When we come back, Gary Williams 5 Clubs Golf PGA Championship. Also, there have been offshoot conversations of the European Tour. I know Live Golf is still in the people are still talking about it because they can't help themselves. We're going to try to avoid that. But maybe a European Tour conversation, but also the PGA and what it means and who are the favorites. Next.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
I don't care what you got, just give me that.
One goal.
Nikishin, Ehlers, shoots his scores! Oh, the power play! Verdeen wide open, rebound, and what a save by Anderson!
Hoist Lord Stanley's Cup.
Sebastian Aho in, short hit back in, scores! Oh, talk to me, Shorty! Carolina!
The Triangle's official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm back from Daytona Beach after a week of sand, sun, and metal music, but I was definitely missing my motorcycle. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here for Law Tigers, and if you're a rider, then I'm sure you've heard of Bike Week in Daytona. And while my vacation didn't include riding, it is definitely the season to take the bike out when you can because this weather is absolutely perfect for it. And as a rider, you know it's not about just getting somewhere, but the freedom and the feeling you get from each trip. And at Law Tigers, they understand this because they're riders too, so they get the hassle and headache of being in an accident while on your motorcycle. They've been helping riders like me for 25 years, so you can trust they have your best interest at heart. The insurance company just wants to pay you the least amount possible, so your case evaluations are always free and they won't get paid until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
It's bow time. We know there's a lot of breakfast sandwiches out there, but only Bojangles has the legendary Cajun Filet Biscuit. Shake things up with a boldly seasoned chicken breast on a fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit with bow rounds and your choice of drink. So when you're craving something bold, something different, something that takes breakfast to a whole new level, the Cajun Filet Biscuit is waiting for you, along with crispy bow rounds and a drink. Order in the app or at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your craving for Cajun with a Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuits are served all day, every day. And with that biscuit, why not add Bo's Iced Coffee? That's right, Bo's Iced Coffee with sweet cream. Choose caramel or French vanilla. Bo's new Iced Coffee, a great way to sweeten your day. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payment, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
This is Adam Gold.
And we're going to have Seth on the show next week when he gets back from vacation. He was by a pool.
What are you doing? Get off Twitter. It's nicer to be on Twitter when you're by a pool anyway.
No, just stop engaging with people.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. A break from the hockey. PGA Championship, the second major of the golf season, starts tomorrow at Aronimink. And Gary Williams, 5 Clubs Golf, at Gary Williams 1UP on Twitter, joins us on the Adam Gold Show. Thank you very much for your time. I know we're caught in the middle of all sorts of playoffs, but Philadelphia needs some feel-good. They didn't win any games in the last round in the NBA and the NHL, and the Phillies aren't any good. They're better than the Mets, which is, frankly, not that difficult. But Philly needs a feel-good. Who will give it to them this week?
Yeah, that's a great way to frame the question. I first of all, I think the championship can make everybody here feel good. Golf. This is a great golf town. Mm-hmm. There are so many wonderful historic classical golf courses, great memberships, and the history of American golf. Really, it started in New York, but Philly wasn't far behind. I think having this major here is great for the city, like you said. Any other way you could possibly take a shot at the Flyers, you've managed to do so. But I think that there are a handful of players. First of all, Rory doesn't play road games. You know that. Doesn't matter where he is in the world. He can be in Budapest or Boston or out here in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. Him winning this championship, it would be good for this championship. He's won it twice already. It would also put him in a place that nobody has been in 11 years. That is, winning the first 2 majors of a calendar year. Jordan Spieth did it when it was the Masters and the U.S. Open, as he went to the old course and almost pulled it off there in that month of July. But other than Spieth, nobody's won the first 2 majors of the year since Tiger did it in 2002 in this century. So that is kind of where I'd start. But then, look, Scheffler's not far behind. He could go back to back. Then he gets to 5 majors, and he's not only, whether he wins here or not, he's on the doorstep of his own slam at Shinnecock. Those 2 guys are top of the marquee. And then beyond that, there are a lot of guys. I mean, look, if a live guy, whether it's Rahm or DeChambeau, there's something particularly provocative about them winning a major in all of this turbulence that they're dealing with their golf league. And then there are others who I think have a chance to really factor here, who would be great stories. Ricky Fowler, and it's not just last week, Adam. He has played really, really well this season, and his putter is cooperating more. Everybody thought his window had closed in terms of him winning a major championship. I think it's ajar. I think it's open. So that would be a handful of them.
I want to get to Rory because it's funny to me. At the Masters, it's obvious he was going to be one of the favorites, and he is the second choice in the betting market here. But there's a pretty big gap between Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. But beyond that, I have not heard a lot of talk about Rory. It's been about, Cam Young, and I get it, and Fowler's season, and Jordan Spieth potentially winning the career Grand Slam for, would be 2 years in a row where somebody has pulled that off. Not been a lot of Rory. He hasn't played. Obviously, he played just once since winning the Masters, and it was he was just there at Quail Hollow, a place where he has traditionally done well. What do you make of? Is it simply out of sight, out of mind with Rory? He seems to be flying underneath the radar, if that's even possible.
No, I think that's a fair assessment. He's only played 6 times this year. That's about half of what most of the players have played. Now, he did play twice on the DP World Tour in the Middle East, so he has played 8 competitive tournaments. But one thing I would say to people is that unlike last year when he won and it was the Slam and there was something, really historic about it, winning back-to-back, he's now only the 4th to do that at Augusta National, but it's not Slam talk. It's not Slam momentum, which then led into him doing every talk show imaginable and almost being on a whirlwind tour. And by the time he showed up at Quail Hollow last year, he seemed kind of chippy, a little jaded, maybe a little disoriented. Not this time around. I did a shoot with him 3 weeks ago in South Florida for Golf Channel, which will be available, I'm not sure when. His spirits were great. He hadn't hit a golf shot. Since he had wrapped in the putt to win the Masters. And I will say this about last week. His putter was awful. His chipping was equally as awful, but his iron play and his driver were really, really good. And one last thing about him and inactivity. In this decade alone, this is the 5th time that he's only played one event between the Masters and the PGA. So this is not like, okay, he hadn't played much and this is different. It's really not in the grand scheme of things. So I understand why there's less chatter, but there's no reason to think less about him winning.
I think if you can make a list of all the great stories. Ricky Fowler would be a great story. Justin Rose winning would be a great story. Rory McIlroy winning a second major, because as great as Scottie Scheffler has been, and he is piling up majors, if Rory McIlroy were to win a second major in a row after going back-to-back at the Masters the year after completing the career Grand Slam, then we are entering into a conversation with Rory that we have been on the fringe of, and we would now be talking about historical greatness. And this is a guy that went 11 years between majors. Yes. So we would be talking about something that would be along the lines of the all-time, the Mount Rushmores of the game.
Most certainly. And just to give people the context of the people you're referencing, he'd be leaving behind, a great group of players, including Phil Mickelson, including Nick Faldo, 6-time major champions. But the people that he would be joining, we're talking about Palmer, we're talking about Gene Sarazen, we're talking about Sam Snead. And then beyond that, getting to 7, it does not happen much. Take Tiger and Jack out of the equation. The last player who got to 7, and that was it, that was Arnold Palmer in 1964. Yes, Watson got to 8 in 83. Player got to 9 in 1978. But getting to 7, this is top 10 stuff all time. And then it does give Shinnecock major buzz with the idea that he's going, and people are going, slow down. He hadn't hit him a shot. I get it. I get it. But it's so plausible that he could do this. And the other part of it is, to back to your point about the drought, is that he piled up the first 4 so quickly. There's no reason to think a more refined, more polished Rory at 37 with as much firepower now as he had when he was 21, when he went from 0 to 4 from June of 2011 to August of 2014. There's no reason to think that he can't go from 4 to 8 in just as quick a condensed period of time.
I 100% agree. I said, and my son is a huge fan, not only of Rory, but of professional golf. He consumes more than I do at this stage. He's constantly on his phone. Yeah, constantly on his phone watching. He watches everything. And we talk about Rory, and I joke with him, like, if he wins another one, this was before the Masters last year, I said, I think he's going to get to 10. And I think he will ultimately get to 10. I think we're going to see when Rory's done, he'll be in double figures. But I want to get back to somebody who is, like, I remember when he and Ricky Fowler were really tight. Back, and I'm sure they still are. Fowler was a guy who we all assumed was going to break through. And then his game kind of went sideways, and it hasn't happened for him. To me, it would be the second most popular win on tour. And to some extent, it might be a more popular win because Fowler doesn't have a major at this point. But to me, the way he's looked at by his fellow competitors, the way I think the media likes Ricky, I think this would be an enormous win for the tour.
It would be. Most certainly it would be. And everything you said is unequivocally true with respect to, he is probably, if you look at him, I remember, going back, 10 years, there were very few players on the PGA Tour that were as close to the Jordan Spieth and the Justin Thomases, while also being as close to Bubba Watson. Like, right. He's got his friends are the entire spectrum of the PGA Tour. He's appreciated by the media. He's exceedingly agreeable. He's a very placid guy. His clothes are his noise. It's not his opinions. It's not his behavior on the golf course. And look, I never budgeted him for a major. I thought he was a wonderful talent, but he was not somebody that I would have thought when his career was over. If he didn't win a major, I would say he was an underachiever. He really has only had 2 seasons where his statistics were representative of somebody who had like he was a 5-tool player. He is a charismatic guy while not seeking to be charismatic. It would be very popular. Look, I think Justin Rose would be an enormously popular win because I think it would make him a lead pipe lock for the World Golf Hall of Fame. He would also be somebody who in his mid-40s, it's rare air to win a major at an age like that. You're talking about the likes of Hale Irwin, obviously Jack in 86. He would be. And I'm not saying I think he has a chance to contend. I don't know about when. Gary Woodland, who's already won.
Oh, wow.
Gary Woodland has played well really since the Players, and he's played well at Valspar, which is a very tactical golf course. He obviously completely undressed Houston, which is a bomber's ballpark, but he played well 2 weeks ago in Miami as well. And so this golf course, the aerial game, particularly with his fast and as tilted as these greens are, trying to hit the small quadrants, there's no reason to think he couldn't contend. And let me tell you something. Gary Woodland is one of the last 5 or 6 groups heading into the weekend. He will have immense support.
I mean, I would cry just thinking about it.
Yes.
What an incredible human year, right? That Gary Woodland has had. Gary Williams, 5 Clubs Golf, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. A couple of more names I just want to throw at you. Hasn't quite been the season that we maybe wanted based on what we saw last year. Tommy Fleetwood, but the possibility that, and I think we're all looking at Birkdale because obviously that's, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, home course stuff for Fleetwood. But I'd love for him to get one out of the way before he got to his home course.
Yeah, I think Tommy's had a good season. I think sometimes whatever the age of the player is, because the player's been kind of so good for so long, and even though he was a very accomplished winner around the world, specifically on the DP World Tour, I heard a lot of people using a phrase that I kind of push back on, which is, well, now that he's one of the PGA Tour, the floodgates are going to open. They don't. Floodgates don't open when all of these guys, with the exception of Scheffler, are really, when they get to the tape, we're talking about hundredths of a second to be analogous to track and field. There are such small margins. I'm not surprised that he hasn't won, and so if he won this week, I would also be equally unsurprised. I mean, he is the one thing that he's got to do, Adam, is that you've got to get the sense that his putter is cooperating. Mm-hmm. He does not have to be a great putter. He's a superior iron player. This is a second shot golf course. If his putter cooperates and it's not moody, he can win. There's no doubt about it.
Gary Williams, 5 Clubs Golf, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Final thing for you. There's been a lot of I think Jon Rahm has handled all of the outside stuff about LIV and what that tour is going to be like. And I think it's pretty fair that to think that Jon Rahm wishes that he didn't have however many years left on his contract. When you use things like, when you use phrases like, I'm pretty much locked in here. He's not necessarily thrilled about it, but he has to make the best of it if LIV does exist as a tour. Is his headspace in a good spot where he can win this week? Because he hasn't really contended in a major in a minute.
No. 2 things. I think the phrase you used, first of all, it's one that I invoked earlier today with respect to him, because I sat in his press conference yesterday, and I think all of us, a modest to healthy amount of humility is a good thing to have in our diets. And I think that he exercised that yesterday. Yep. I thought he was reflective. I thought he was vulnerable. And I have always felt, Adam, since he left for LIV, the major championship run-ups, starting with his defense of the Masters, he seemed defensive. He doesn't seem that way. I think his resolution with the DP World Tour and a green light ahead when it comes to not only playing there, being on the Ryder Cup team next year, and him talking in the manner in which he did yesterday. I think his headspace is excellent. And the thing about winning, which is the most elusive skill that anybody could be in possession of out here because it doesn't happen much, he has one on live. Value it any way you want. There is something particular about being in that place late in a golf tournament. You don't have to look around and look at the competitors, and he's done that this year. He didn't do that last year. And one thing I would say about contending, he was contending at Quail Hollow until he didn't take advantage of 14 and 15, which he knew Scotty Scheffler would. Mm-hmm. He had to take on the 16th hole. He butchered the close. He knew he wasn't going to win. He contended in that major.
Okay.
I count that as contention. And so that, again, it was a year ago, but I would say, and he even said it was the most fun he had had on a golf course in several years. That's why. That's why, because he felt like he was in the blender again, which is what it feels like when you're either in the lead or close to the lead coming down the stretch of a major. It is disorienting. But I think that he is a reasonable play this week. I will be not a bit surprised if he's on the first page heading into Saturday.
Gary Williams, 5 Clubs Golf, at Gary Williams, 1UP on Twitter. I look forward to whatever you got with Rory coming out, because Rory's entertaining and so are you.
I will tell you, it's always delightful to spend time with him. 2 shows, one entirely devoted to all the critical moments from the 2025 Masters, and the second show, all the moments from 2026, recreating shots, talking about processing, like standing on the 12th tee this year, knowing he had a 1-shot lead, hitting the shot that he hit, the tee shot subsequently on 13th. I could have done this. I could have been out there all day.
Yep.
But 6 hours with him putting together those 2 shows, it was a lot of fun. I think viewers are really going to like it.
Did you see his silhouette quiz where he guessed all the...
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. Strong work, and most importantly, that he ID'd Jordan Spieth before he took it back, and I think there was another player that he ID'd before they threw the club back.
How do you get Michael Block swing? Also,
well, because he did play with him in the final round of the PGA Championship at Oak Hill, and I made a hole-in-one.
I guess. Then he not only got Tiger, which is obviously not that difficult, but he got the year.
He got the year.
At that point, I went, get out of here. Gary Williams, I thank you very much. Enjoy the tournament. I'll talk to you later.
Adam, always a pleasure, my friend.
You got it. Take care. Gary Williams here on the Adam Gold Show. For people who haven't seen it, and I think the PGA Tour actually tweeted it out. There's a video where they show Rory McIlroy silhouettes of current players and one non-player, or 2 non-players. And from the silhouette, who is it? And I think there were about 8 or 9 different players. 9 for 9.
Oh, wow.
He aced the test, and I watched it and I just went, get out of here.
That's funny.
It is really, really good.
The Panthers have done that with, like, who caught this football back
I
in
love
2001.
That.
Yeah, it's fun to play that
Totally
game.
dig that kind of stuff. All right, back to the Canes in a rewind. Also, the National Football League tomorrow will reveal its schedule. I'll tell you what is slowly going away. Next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
You don't build a tradition overnight. You earn it.
The Coca-Cola 600's underway.
This is a crown jewel race. It's a 600-mile salute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice.
It's do what we love because of the sacrifices that were made by our military heroes.
If you win this one, you'll carry it with you forever.
It's NASCAR's toughest test of man and machine.
It's the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Memorial Day weekend.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Like
like our original gold-rimmed Bluebell homemade vanilla, the country's gold standard of ice cream flavors since 1969. Its hand-cranked taste takes you back to simpler times. That's why we put the word home right on the carton.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Carolina Complete Health, from neighborhoods in Charlotte to families in Greensboro, Raleigh, and Durham, all the way to Asheville and Wilmington, and everything in between. We are here for communities across North Carolina, connecting you to the care and support you need. We are here to make healthcare easier to access and understand. We are here to bridge the gap, because your health matters. Your community matters. You matter. We are here for your health. Visit hereforyourhealthnc.com.
Your child's doctor shares your goals. A healthy future for your child. Doctors recommend vaccines throughout childhood because they protect what matters most. Your child's future from preventable disease and serious illness. Discuss any questions you have and check that your child is up to date and talk about any concerns. You're right to have questions. Get real answers. Start a conversation with your doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
Distracted driving kills. Every glance away from the road puts lives at risk. Eating and drinking, texting, changing the music, or checking your phone. It can all wait. Behind the wheel, your only job is to drive. Buckle up, stay focused, keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. Protect yourself, your passengers, and everyone around you. Every seat, every time. This message is brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. We're celebrating hospitals and nurses nationwide this month, especially the critical role hospitals play in emergency care and in keeping our communities well cared for and healthy. My guest is Brian Floyd, Chief Operating Officer with ECU Health, sharing the details on the state's first rural emergency hospital.
The overwhelming story of what rural hospitals mean to the country and to North Carolina is not just about that emergency story. It is a place that provides economic stability to the market around them. It provides a place for jobs. It provides a place for people to grow and do service to their local community through that hospital environment. It provides a place of care close to home for people. It's really a major part of the fabric of a community when there's a hospital there.
You can learn more and join our latest conversations on the state of healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and find out more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Person in front of me in line had a box of wine.
Oh, yeah. I feel that person. If you are buying boxed wine on a Friday, that thing is open right now.
In the car.
Yeah. I don't even need it to cool down.
She jammed a big straw right through the top of the box
yeah.
in the
Went
car.
to the gas station to get a cup of ice. Like, they don't even care.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. We'll get back to the Canes in a minute in a rewind. I mentioned earlier that it's been a minute since Aronimink, where they are in suburb of Philadelphia. It's been a minute since they've hosted a major championship in 1962. So 64 years ago, right? Is that correct math? Gary Player won the PGA championship there, so it's second major championship that golf course has hosted, and it will start tomorrow. But I have been so locked in on other things, like normally, and I know we talked about it a fair amount today, but I am normally locked into major championship golf. But I have been super locked in on the NHL playoffs, and I've watched every single night. I know you are too.
Oh, big time.
So, most people know. I mean, I mentioned it all the time. We got a lot of stuff to do at home.
Right.
We got the pastures to mow, all sorts of stuff.
Always.
And Aileen, who's playing tonight? When does it start?
That's when you know.
Every night.
Yeah.
Every night. We haven't had a Hurricanes game in a week, right?
Yeah.
Almost. Not really. It was Saturday. Today's just Wednesday. It feels like we haven't had a game in a while.
It does.
But we are probably a minimum of 5 days from another game.
Mm-hmm.
But every single night.
Yeah.
It'll be the same thing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
One game tonight, 8 o'clock start, so we'll get some other things done, and maybe she'll show up a little bit later, but Colorado and Minnesota, I think that series is going to come to an end tonight. And look, we're spending a lot of time talking about how good Carolina is. Anybody watch the Avalanche?
I know. That's why everybody's like, it's going to come down to
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
First of all, I don't care if the Hurricanes are playing 4 playoff series. I don't care against whom the 4th series is against.
No.
I think he used the word against twice. I don't care. I don't care. It would be fun for no other reason than to be able to see Marty Necas and Jack Drury and Brent Burns, even though we had Nick Waugh here for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Former Hurricane, drafted by the Hurricanes, but not really. But we all know what Burns meant, what Necas meant, what Drury meant to this team. So it would be great to see them. And if Carolina can't win it, I hope those guys do.
Yeah.
I do. A guy like Brent Burns, who has been through it in the NHL and has not won. I know it would be how it would be received. Obviously, Carolina would be disappointed to not win, but because they're so close with all 3 of those players, to be honest.
That would be another emotional handshake line.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
Oh, my gosh.
In the feels. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if any, real talk here. I don't know if anything's going to top
Brett
Pesce.
I know.
For me, it's not. As much as I really enjoyed Necas and Drury and Burns, I don't think anything's going to top that
but
handshake.
It'll be probably in the top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, but it can't be better. It can't be better than second. So
No.
we'll leave it at that. All right. Before we get back to Hurricanes hockey, real quick before I want to bring up a couple of NFL things. Schedule is going to get released tomorrow. Now there have been a fair amount of things leaked. I guess we're starting on a Wednesday. We're not even starting Thursday this year. We're starting whatever the day. I think the 9th of September. Wednesday is when we will begin. We have all of the college weekend, week 0 is happening first. Then we get week 1 and Labor Day, all the college stuff. But Wednesday the 9th is the first NFL game. It's going to be Seattle. Now, they don't like to do division games for the opener. So it's going to be a non-division game. Now, if you don't have any other options that they like, then they do it. Well, one of the teams that they thought they might open with would be Dallas. But Dallas is opening on Sunday night against the Giants in New Jersey. So these are really the 2 choices, I think. And by the way, Kansas City is playing the first Monday night at home against Denver. We don't even know if Patrick Mahomes is going to be ready to play. But Denver at Kansas City is the first Monday night. So Seattle is either going to open, I'm going to guess here, at home with the Patriots, which would be a rematch of the Super Bowl, or the Chicago Bears, which would be a very interesting game. Here's where I don't think it will be the Patriots. And I'm going to ask you this question, Victoria.
Okay.
Here's where I don't think it'll be the Patriots. Do you think in game 1 of the NFL season?
This has got to do with Vrabel.
Yes, no, but it does.
Yeah.
Do you think that NBC wants to be in the position of ignoring that? Because they're not going to talk about it.
Right, yeah.
They don't want to be in position to ignore that.
Mm-mm.
So I think the Patriots will probably open the season just playing on Sunday afternoon.
Right. I could see that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be Seattle and Chicago.
Yeah.
And here's my question. Why does anybody care about this?
I know.
I get the Diana Rossini angle because of her position as a journalist. I still think that while it's not a great look, and I think the bigger problem is that she clearly lied to her employer.
Right.
I don't care if she had an affair with Mike Vrabel.
No.
I don't care that apparently she was with child
Yes.
by her husband
Wild.
while she was having. None of it is appealing to me.
No.
But
it's their business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't my business. I don't understand.
I don't need to know.
I don't understand why people like Mike Florio of ProFootballTalk.com is constantly asking questions about Mike Vrabel. I don't care.
Yeah. Clickbait.
Do we yes, in many ways it is. Do we think that Robert Kraft is going to fire Mike Vrabel because he was covering Diana Rossini?
Right. No.
I don't think so.
In pro sports, if every person involved got fired for having outside activity with their spouse.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if Boston radio wants to talk, let them. I mean, but honestly, none of it impacts anything unless it does impact the football, and I can't imagine that it would, but I just don't understand. I don't understand the fascination toward Vrabel about this. Again, I understand the journalism part of it with Diana Rossini. I don't necessarily buy into all of it, but I get it. I don't understand why everybody is coming at Mike Vrabel for this. He doesn't owe anybody an explanation except Mrs. Vrabel and his kids. That to me is the issue. It's kind of weird then.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. Now to the couple of other things we know. Buffalo is opening up their stadium, their new ballpark in week 2 at home to Detroit. We've got 9 international games, 3 of them in London. We're in Paris. We're in Germany. We're in Rio, Mexico, Australia. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Because of the spread of the sport. We're going to be at a time where we will see an international game every week.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about that. Because if the NFL can bring the game to more places and sell more jerseys, and look, we have Americans living everywhere, so they get an opportunity to go to an NFL game. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. Other sports doing it. The Hurricanes are going to play 2 games against Seattle in Finland next year. Major League Baseball has taken games to Japan, London. I mean, they've gone everywhere. So because we have Americans living all over the world, why not? Doesn't matter.
And if you could bet on which team would be over there, Jacksonville, I'd put money on it. I don't know what the odds would be, but they're there every year.
The 3 games in London are in consecutive weeks. Jacksonville plays the last 2 of them.
Of course.
So, I mean, but they always were willing to do it.
Yeah.
Because the owner, Shad Khan, is the owner of Fulham. He owns Fulham. So he was all about it. All right. Now, look, one day I want to go cover those games and then go. I don't even want to go to the NFL game. I want to go to Craven Cottage. So
the other football.
Right. There's a point of diminishing returns, though, because I think what we're going to see is slowly the Sunday games are disappearing. And if you are a Sunday ticket subscriber, there's a lot less reason to subscribe to Sunday Ticket now than there's ever been, because these games are absolutely disappearing. So now coming up Thanksgiving, we now have 3 games on Thanksgiving.
We do.
But it's really 4 because it's 5 because there's 3 games on Thanksgiving. There's a Thanksgiving Eve game.
And Wednesday.
And there's a Black Friday game.
Yeah.
So we got 5 games before we get to the weekend. So these games, as they splinter the schedule off more and more and create packages that they can sell, there will come a time where, why do I need to buy Sunday Ticket? I mean, I guess if your team sucks and they're not in a major market, so if you happen to be, let's just say Tennessee's bad. They've been bad. Like if you're a Titans fan, you might need Sunday ticket. But I don't care how bad they are. If you're a Bears fan or you're a Giants fan, you pretty much have a chance to watch every game.
Yeah.
And you don't need Sunday ticket.
No.
So, look, there was a time I was a Jets fan. I didn't need Sunday ticket. They were on TV plenty. Because even though they were the Jets, they were on TV plenty. All right. Let me get to, I guess, one more thing. We talked about this earlier, but I want to get to Bryce Young. Here's Evan Cohen and Chris Canty debating the Panthers paying Bryce Young.
He has not been a historical bust by any stretch of imagination. He just hasn't been good enough for me to give him top of the market value that I need to see more.
So what is it, 35?
I can't do that. Under 20.
No.
I'm back up.
He's not gonna do
That's
that.
the point. I'm waiting.
He's not gonna do it.
That's the point. I'm waiting.
You're not going to get a deal done. Are you trying to get a deal done or no?
I don't know. That's why. Who's taking on the risk?
Are you willing to pay more to be sure? That's the question that you have to ask the Carolina.
Totally
you're willing
good
to
with
do that.
If you're going to say market value is 40 and he's going to be so good and so...
No, that's not market value. That's middle-class quarterback money.
If middle-class quarterback money is $40 million and he's going to be so good to make me want to give him $50 million next year, I'm cool with that. I'll live with that. But I'm not giving him...
Well, hold on. It might not be $50 million. It might be $60 million.
All right. So here's the deal. Last year, Bryce Young at least started to look the part, really started to look the part. And it wasn't all great. He had 0 consecutive games where he threw for 200 yards. That's a pretty low bar. Even on our running team, that's a pretty low bar to have no games in consecutive weeks where you throw for 200 or more yards. Now, he did throw for 198 and 199 in weeks 5 and 6. And the Panthers won both of those games, so maybe that's fudging it. So let's give him that. Still a fairly low bar. That's it. That's the only time it happened. One thing I've said about Bryce Young really throughout, from year 2 when he finally got back in, and Dave Canales put him back in the lineup because Andy Dalton had the car accident, and also into year 3. It did seem to me that Bryce Young was always at his best when the game was on the line. And I think that says something. But until he does it week in and week out under the gun, until he does it week in and week out where he can be the reason they win, not just a game manager that allows them to win, but the reason they win, then I wouldn't be interested in committing long-term $50-ish million annually to it. This is the year we need to see it. And if we don't see it this year, then it's time to look for the next one. Victoria, thank you very much. I'm Adam. See you.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. Why do people invent things? I know the guy who invented the crazy straw. Why? Because he thought it would be fun. Well, Gordon